Oh, look at that. We're live. Jeez. Oh. Hello, everybody. All right, now that I can say that I believe we are live. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Is it working now? Ho, ho, ho. I do believe. Yes, black screen. I'm not muted. All right, let's go on with the intro.
My 9-year-old daughter got into my stash of cocaine. She stole all of it, that little entitled brat. Now I can't even have my usual weekend orgies. It's a real inconvenience, let me tell you. And as if that wasn't enough, she refused to clean the house or cook for the other kids. What nerve. Kids these days.
The shame.
I tell you, all she had to do was open some cans of raviolis and maybe a few loads of laundry. Kids don't realize how good they have it.
He was so willing it was almost pathetic.
This plague, the rioting is intensifying to the point where we may not be able to contain it.
Why contain it? Let it spill over to the schools and churches. Let the bodies pile up in the streets. In the end, they'll beg us to save them.
Rebecca Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about the trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Women are like dogs. Now, what do I mean? You have to treat them.
We've had to endure much, you and I. Soon, order UH. Aquinas spoke of the mythical city on the hill. Soon, that city will be a reality, and we its kings.
Better than kings. Gods. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to The Midnight Show. It is June 22nd, 2024. Man, how those years just fly on right by, huh? It was just yesterday. Yeah, boy, it was just yesterday. When the Kick Vic stuff was going along. It was just yesterday. When we all were there. When Nick had his DSP moment. And everyone was arguing. Oh, was he getting head? Was he jerking it? But one thing was clear. We saw his O-face. It was very unpleasant. It was not a good time for anybody. I've seen that clip too many times. In fact, that was how the last stream ended. I'd realized I'd watched that clip enough times. I said, you know what, I'm good. Let's cut it here. How could it get worse? I think I even said that. I was thinking it. I was at least thinking, how could it get worse? Holy shit, chat. It got worse. It got worse. So, I took a bunch of notes. I've been compiling an abridged story, or an abridged version of Nick Rekieta and the things that have happened to him over the course of the last couple of years. And it's downright fascinating. So we'll get to all of that. But first, let's take a look at some of the absurd bullshit that has happened recently. I can't believe that this happened, but it did. So let's go ahead and bring it on up. President Biden offers to investigate the death of Chef Red Pill. Gonzalo Lira, tortured and murdered by Ukrainian thugs. Military. What is there even to say about this? Are memes real life? somewhere out there, like Vladimir Putin is in chat, giving 07's rip coach. What the hell kind of world do we live in now? Where, just a few years ago, Coach was on this very channel talking to me about Ethan Ralph's sex tape. And then fast forward just a little bit, and he's trying to do this whole Project Mayhem Tyler Durden thing, and they were not fucking around at all, and just canned his ass. And now Vladimir Putin's like, nah, dude, that was my boy. You can't treat Gonzalo Lira, savior of the West, Coach Red Pill. You can't treat him like that. Look, it's real. You don't believe me? Chat, you think, wild, you're pulling my fucking leg. This can't be real. Clearly those subtitles were fabricated. This is an archived article from RT, Russia Today. Kiev regime tortured U.S. journalists to death. Putin, the Russian president, has chided Washington for ignoring the incarceration and killing of American blogger Gonzalo Lira. That's his picture. That's him. What a time to be alive. I mean, I'm sure as hell not going to Ukraine. Because we don't know. Maybe the Ralpha curse is real. They went over there and be like, yo, we didn't like what you had to say about the micropenis, the Memphis Micro. It's time to pay what you owe, Gonzalo. We're going to have you cook us one last meal, Chef Redpill. It's fucking crazy shit, dude. So that happened. And of course, we couldn't just enjoy life a little bit. I needed to share this with you because it made me feel, a lot of people don't understand how good we have it in California, right? Man who fled California due to the cost of living, politics, and traffic and crime says he's much happier in Florida. Huh. For sure, bro. I'll be around for a little bit. And if there's one skill I have, it is rambling insufferably long about something a handful of people care about. So you're in good company, bro. But as I was leaving to work, there's just some dude, presumably some homeless guy, hanging out inside, well, I'm sure he was inside of it not too long ago, the dumpster, just freaking the fuck out, his arms in the air, incoherently screaming about, I don't even know, just words that weren't words. And that's a regular thing. It sucks here. California's bullshit. But let's go ahead. I just wanted to catch the bullet points here. Cost of living in America is still out of control. Use these 3 real assets to... Okay, it's an ad. Fuck this article then. Use these 3 assets. Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to get those out of the way because really the crux of this live stream is covering the shit that's happened to Nick Rekieta since we were covering this last stream about a month ago. Now, first, it's only appropriate to bring up this clip of Ethan Ralph at his finest.
Little bits and $10 happy about it or not, the Ralph hackers cannot be escaped. How funny was that fart on stream now, Mr. Lord?
No! You're gonna turn me back into the old me! You're
Please
trying to
do.
turn me back into the old me! No! Did the Ralph curse strike again?
It did.
I guess you should have did that show with me, Nick! Oh!
Nick, by the way, did do a show with him. The next day. Or within the week or so. So this is just a small clip. But yeah, please, Ralph, turn back into the old you. The new you is kind of boring. The one where he's just raging, going Super Saiyan. That's what I want to see. That's the Ralph we like to see. I'll let it play a little bit longer, but then we can there's so much within the last month. we have more than just, dude had a moment where he looked like he might have been, doing the old DSP shuffle, so to speak. No, a lot has happened. And I was hoping to push this stream off until we had the what do you call it? The body cam, or we didn't have the body cam footage. There is an effort to obtain the body cam footage from the raid, for lack of a better word, on Nick Rekieta's house. But we don't have a definitive answer on yes or no just yet. But there is a GoFundMe for it, which is pretty amazing. So, where to start? Where to start, guys? As you can see in this clip here that Ralph was watching, Nick Rekieta apparently got arrested. His house was raided upon, as I mentioned. Now, this literally happened the day after the last stream we did. Literally the last day. Or the last stream we did overnight. Somebody, as happenstance happens to have happened. Take her easy, Magna. Good to see you, buddy. But yeah, and from there, things just cascaded very quickly. And it wasn't just Nick making himself look like an idiot. Where, in contrast, Ralph seems to be the more reasonable person in his clique, in his sphere. Because there seems to be two clear sides. You have one side that is Ethan Ralph, Juju the Cow, also known as Dick Masterson, a man who gets pegged in the ass while he dresses up as a cow, and Ethan Van Sciver, Nick Rekieta. I think that might be it. There's like maybe a handful of people on LawTube that have had some obscenely bad takes, and we'll take a look at some of that as well. That's a good point, Michael. Yeah. Just catching up with chat for a little bit. Oh man, the Dick Masterson, Juju the Cow. Well, it's Dick Masterson, Juju the Cow, a man who likes to get pegged in the ass while he dresses as a cow. It's a crazy rabbit hole. Oh, Barnes, that was somebody had shared a picture where it was like a billboard of his face. This is hungry kids, fuck them. And that made me, I laughed about that for an entire day and a half. I had that image in my head. It was just, good stuff. So the funny thing to me, before we really get into the Nick Rekieta stuff, because it's such a juicy thing, I just don't want to dig in just yet. I kind of want to dance around it a little bit. Is it seems that somehow all of this has been risen from the grave. Like, all of this somehow has to relate to Gator talking to that VTuber. I don't know. I have that feeling. Just somehow they're related. Which, if you haven't seen that clip, it's quite frankly, it's pretty sad, but it's really funny. Sorry, Gator. Oh my god. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Alright, so let's get into some of the takes I saw from Ethan Van Sciver. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Ethan Van Sciver, but from what I understand about him, he's a part of Comicsgate, or is Comicsgate. And he what is it? Indiegogo? He had an Indiegogo campaign for something called Cyberfrog, where people have talked about its release. I don't know all of the details beyond that, so I can't comment on it. However, we can take a look at his amazing takes. So we'll start with this one. Now, this is an Andy Worski tweet, so I cannot see it. It is... I have been blocked. I don't think I've ever added or text or tweeted him directly, so sorry, Gator. But raise kids, grabbing some food and doing some laundry now and then for yourself and maybe sibling is not raising kids. Jesus Christ, you junkie hysteric. the next one here. Kids these days. Now, this was deleted by the author, so we can't see who had tweeted it out. I think it was Dick Masterson. And now, Dick Masterson has been deleting tweets as fast as he can type them. I don't see the point in tweeting something out or posting something if you just plan on deleting it. It's really strange. I don't understand his logic. And by the way, I don't know if anyone else uses Twitter as much as I do. On my breaks at work and whenever I have 5 minutes and I'm bored, I'll jump on Twitter. And there's just nothing but Dick Masterson crying about some guy called Eric July. That was my introduction into Eric July. I don't give a shit about his comics or any of the drama behind it. But Dick Masterson, Juju the Cow, his strange fixation on Eric July comes off as desperate, jealous, and obsessive, quite frankly. I think any rational person sees Juju the Cow posting nonstop about Eric July, and it comes off as like a jilted lover. In the latest Sunrise Productions episode that features Dick Masterson, also known as Juju the Cow, a man who likes to dress up as a cow and get pegged in the ass by his girlfriend, he outright admits, Dax Herrera here, that he wants to and intends to interfere with Eric July's business, which is a strange thing to go on record and say. But another thing I wanted to go over real quick before we go over more of these Ethan Van Sciver tweets, because after we get a little further into just how horrific this whole situation had become, these tweets are going to age like milk in the hot sun. So let's... There might be a better way of going about this, because we might see so many tweets from Dick Masterson with the word, or Juju the Cow, with the word Eric July in it. We'll scroll forever. We'll just scroll forever. Damn it. Typical typo. Just give me a second here, chat. Shouldn't be very long. Now, as you see here, these are just a handful of the tweets of Dick Masterson's, Juju the Cow, a man who dresses as a cow and gets pegged. Just a handful. And a lot of these tweets get deleted almost immediately. The prom king, right? I forgot about that. The prom king. And the funny thing is, he wasn't even the prom king. Oh, man. Okay, let's move forward with more of these tweets. And my favorite one was, how come the kids would rather wear the same clothes than do their own laundry? There are teenagers in the Rekieta brood. They're not stepping up. I realized there was a nanny until there wasn't one. Privileged kids. Do your wash. And so it says, so you're blaming the kids now? If the kids are going to go to school with dirty clothes rather than doing their own laundry, yes. Oh yeah, so I forgot to mention, his kids, and keep in mind, this dude had hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. And he let his kids starve. Yeah, that's the other thing. They were starving. They were going to school and mentioning that they haven't eaten. And they hadn't showered or they were wearing dirty clothes. Dude had hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. From what I understand, at the very least, tens of thousands, because all of us saw the success that he had achieved on YouTube, the amount of super chats and everything. The Broom King. But this man is making more than enough, substantially enough, to take care at least of his cocaine habit, him and 3 other people, their cocaine habit, but he couldn't buy his kids food. But hey, here's big Ethan Van Sciver, who's still seething about Eric July, which, again, I don't understand. It's just strange. It always comes off as jealous and envious. Just do your own thing, man. I'll give you a good example. Andy Worski and I'm blocked, right? We're not exactly on friendly terms. He's killing it with Keno Casino. I'm happy doing my own thing. I got my own thing going. Happy for him. Good for you, buddy. Especially if it keeps him on good track and I don't know. It just seems strange to me to look at somebody else doing really well for themselves and go, oh, this makes me really upset. Like, don't you have anything better to do with your time, Juju, than to post obsessively to Twitter about somebody, about a person specifically, and then just delete all the tweets anyway? Then what was the point of posting all of this stuff? And another thing, this man's face is really, really small. Really small. Like, I don't know, just somebody mentioned it to me, and now every time I see him, it's strange looking at him. Yeah, this guy, holy shit, I never thought I'd see the day someone would blame neglected kids for being neglected. You're a piece of shit, man. Yeah, EVS, you really are, bro. If you believe this shit, you're a fucking asshole. It's gonna be so much better. If these tweets are gonna be so much better if everyone gets the body cam footage and the place is as the police report describes it. And there's dirty laundry everywhere. There's just kids hungry. I mean, it's really sad for the kids. It gets dark too. You guys, some of you probably already know. Oh, the boxed wine epidemic. Oh, I remember vaguely. But it gets darker, chat. It gets dark enough that I tried to give a short version of this story to somebody I know in real life. And when I got to the part of, so why would the favorite child, an 8-year-old that just turned 9 actually, why would they show up for cocaine? And their eyes just went really wide and go, do you think it was a false positive? They go, no, that's not likely. And her immediate, the words preceding that was, they need to test that child for abuse. That kind of abuse. And after everything I've seen about Mr. Rekieta, benefit of the doubt, I'm not going to let I don't want to fill in the dots, but it's starting to paint a pretty horrific fucking picture. So it's pretty bad when the best case scenario is that, well, they might be cokeheads. They might have let their children starve, have them living in a house that was not picked up. There was just dirty shit all over the place. But at least they didn't get sexually abused. That's best case scenario. That's how dark it gets. And the copes from the people involved and the people trying to stick by Nick Rekieta have been insane. Alleging that there's some sort of conspiracy around this, that the judges and the officers involved are just writing in the reports, just adding to it how horrible his house looked. Look, guys, I'm fucking broke, but my house looks okay. My hand's all busted because I tried to fix the vacuum cleaner and failed, right? That happened a couple days ago. But my house still looks good. Like, it's not exactly the wealthiest dude on the fucking planet, but you know something? I clean up after myself, Mr. High-class cokehead. I mean, you might as well be a crackhead, if we're being honest. Yeah, I've told that story to 2 different women, and that was the exact thing they said. So, let's again look at this man making a fool out of himself on social media, because again, what matters is this man is publicly tweeting this out from his account that's associated with his business. Like, this probably should be an account that relates more towards the progress you're making in Cyberfrog or whatever it is that you're working on currently. Not having these petty slap fights with random people who are going, oh my god, it looks like they've been neglecting their kids. To which he responds epically, oh, well, actually, those kids are privileged as fuck. Don't you know? These lazy ass kids need to step up so their mom and their dad and Mr. and Mrs. Imholt, the other couple that was living and sleeping inside the Rekieta bedroom. We're all busy. You guys need to fend for yourselves. The fuck? What the fuck, right? Kids who enjoyed extreme privilege, and then that privilege was revoked and life got complicated for them. They aren't helpless. No kids are. The peak optics on this. Like, there's a part of this you have to admire, right? The part of you that goes, the no gives a fuck level of not giving a fuck what anybody thinks. You're like, no, I'm just gonna tweet this out. Probably had to have been in line somewhere at a store. I don't even know. These are just such brainlet takes to have to want to tweet out from your public persona, like the one associated with your business that you sold people. The optics of this are so out of whack. I can't imagine that he's not on drugs. Not saying he is, but my brain immediately goes there. You really can't make this shit up. It's the writers for this year just turned it up a notch or two. Like, fuck it, boys. We're cranking up the volume. So the parents aren't obligated to make sure that stuff gets done. You're going to criminally. Notice how it's a crime to not take care of it. It actually is to neglect your children. There, EVS. You're going to criminally hold the parents to that standard. They lose their kids if they suffer depression, mental illness. Same kind of shit happens. Kids have to step up. Get a load of this guy. Like, you're going to criminally hold all the parents to that standard. Yeah. Yeah, dude. What kind of fucking prick are you? They lose their kids if they suffer depression, mental illness? Sometimes, yeah. Have you never seen Psycho Parents, my man? Holy shit. Oh, yeah. Right. Oh my god, this guy's saying kids should be able to make sandwiches for themselves and do their own laundry if need be. What a nightmare. You're why America's becoming what it's becoming, you clown. Fuck, I feel so owned. I don't know about you guys, but fuck. Blow the fuck out. I don't know where the felt is, but I got felted, for sure. Oh. Yeah, it's the children who are the problem, not the crackhead parents. That's what's wrong with America. These darn lazy, neglected kids not picking up the slack. Sure, I get your meme. Dude, none of us get perfect parents. Some of us get thoroughly cheated in that regard. You still have to grow up. Being a victim is no way to go through life. No, but it is a way of being Nick Rekieta, though, isn't it? Which, if you haven't seen the latest live stream of Nick Rekieta being indignant about how the documents regarding his 9-year-old child testing positive for cocaine, he was more pissed off about that than just about anything else. Not about the content of the documents, but that it got leaked. Just, for me, spoke volumes. Yeah, Aaron was there to make SpaghettiOs. Can you imagine, like, the amount of money and super chats they were making and having to eat fucking SpaghettiOs? Couldn't even heat up some noodles, some sauce, make some homemade. It only takes a second. Oh man, some of these are such like banger tweets. I'm sure they're all archived somewhere, but I really hope somebody took the time. These like aged immediately, but considering what I had just shared with you, it is even worse. Oh, yeah, EVS, it actually is a crime to neglect your children, which is why Nick does not have custody of his kids right now, you absolute mongoloid. Here we go. These guys hate Rekieta so much that they're losing all sense of proportion. He didn't do their laundry. Execute him. I had parents who dropped the ball too. Drugs were involved. 9 kids. No comment. Sending women... maybe that's what's wrong with America, assholes. People with fucking 70 IQs just breeding like rats. For fuck's sake. Sending mom and dad to prison would have made matters worse for us. I don't know any of you guys, but just about any household I've seen where the parents were just tweaking out hard, yeah, you get those tweakers out of the house, things are better. I don't know. Maybe, we do live in clown world. So now, it's like, I know, how dare you? That's Dad of the Year. He's just spun out there screaming about spiders in his head. But he's all right. He's about to take the kid out to a ball game. Yeah, look how I turned out. I had parents who dropped the ball too. Drugs were involved, 9 kids. Sending mom and dad to prison would have made things worse for us. It made us kind of self-reliant. Okay. I can kind of see what he says here. I can see where he's coming from. And I'm going to assume in the best of faith that I'm correct. Struggle breeds resilience. I can agree to that. However, when a child is developing into a young man or a young lady, they're developing still. So putting undue stress and stunting their ability to enjoy their childhood and grow up naturally prevents them from fully growing up. There are a lot of people who are in their late 20s, early 30s that still haven't fully matured into a woman or a man, in my opinion. Tipsy Wild's a good time. Fuck, I miss drinking, man. Tipsy me is fun. I have a lot of fun drinking. Yeah, in more ways than one, Ear Juice. In more ways than one, huh? I like the comment. I had parents who dropped the ball too. Was it that kind of ball? I'm loving the amount of fun you can have with the different AIs too. I'm not sure. It did show right at the beginning. The Nick Rekieta AI. Funny stuff. I even had to click a box when I set the live stream to say, oh, there is altered content, in here. So I wonder if there's any sort of blockage on their behalf because of that, but let's move forward. So leave the situation to get worse. They say to get worst. I don't know. If you ask the Rekieta children, they'd probably tell you to fuck off and mind your own business. They love their parents. I like that he's speaking for them. That's very nice. Sometimes EVS speaks for me. But in this legal matter, this is a legal matter and it's going to get settled in court. I don't have an opinion. I don't have to have an opinion, except I hope Nick and Kayla get better. And it's like every one of these is amazing. I love it. The kids just want to be left alone already, okay? Okay, we did read this one. Or maybe we didn't. If the kids are going to school with dirty clothes rather than doing their own laundry, then yes, he is blaming the kids. Someone asked him that. Do your own laundry. One of you is 16. Help out your brothers and sisters. It's what normal families do, even without drug-addicted parents. Well, you have to forget, you're forgetting they're also having foursomes, and they were going to put up a sex dungeon also. It's an interesting detail to throw in there, EVS. Is that what normal families do? Do normal families get all fucking coked out on stream? Here, let's jump forward a little bit.
say yes to cocaine.
Man, he really is right. Now that I saw that clip, I completely blown the fuck out. I just don't know how to settle it, man. I have been enjoying this craziness. It's fuck, man. It's better than television. It's hard to watch anything anymore because I'm just glued to my phone. Going, nah, I'm just scrolling Twitter. You know how it goes, babe. If you should have seen her eye, like the look on her face when I mentioned that their 9-year-old turned up positive for cocaine. Her without skipping a beat, that girl needs to have a rape kit done on her. She needs to be tested for abuse immediately without even skipping a beat. She immediately was like, fuck Rekieta, I know where this is going. But hey, innocent until proven guilty, right? Well, that was my take on... Goddamn. My take on Nick saying that he should be presumed innocent until proven guilty. We're not the court of law, asshole. I could think whatever I want about you. I don't need proof. Yeah, man. From what I understand of it, it's 10 times the amount of what is observable. So it's a significant amount of cocaine. It isn't just like a trace amount that was left on a plate or something like that. Yeah, that's my point. Yeah, precisely. Everyone seems to be on that same page of, oh my god. And yeah, it could be cocaine on the money. Dude, they were ingesting it through bullets though, weren't they? But yeah, back to this EVS shit. Him just saying, no, that 16-year-old child of theirs, is a teenager, needs to stop being so fucking lazy and entitled to this household. And he's take care of the other kids while the mom and dad and the other couple living with them in their bedroom have all the crazy sex they want. Like, why isn't it their responsibility? Like, here, I get the sentiment of, hey, let me do some chores around the house, right? I get that. But just going, no, fuck. Those kids were hungry? Well, that's obviously the teenager's fault. The fuck, dude? Okay, so Jeremy Carroll, I'm not wearing my glasses. Jeremy Carroll saying, not 10 times what is observed, it's 10 times what a positive test would be. That's basically that's what I meant, but I failed to articulate properly. So there are a lot of different theories about why this, or how this could have happened. But I don't even... Yeah, it's just very grim and really sad. Yeah, dude, Aaron did the dishes and vacuumed once. Come on. You've got a good point. He's practically family from there on in. He's like Uncle Aaron. I don't know. If you ask the Rekieta children, they tell you to fuck off and mind your own business. That's right. Fuck off, all right? Let my parents do their foursomes and leave us hungry. Fucking absurd. So Dick Masterson has also been sweeping it up. Dick Masterson, also known as Juju the Cow, a man who gets pegged in the ass as he dresses up as a cow. Let's start from here. So first there was the anime stream. You guys remember the anime stream? Cuckold Aaron, dude. That's correct. That is correct. Exactly. This isn't a, oops, the kid got into the coke. It's, ooh, the kid used coke on a regular basis, a couple of times. Like, to me, it means on a regular basis. Oh, man. Watching Juju freak out over the Barbie Dream Mansion is like one of my favorite clips of all time. I love it. So we had the anime stream, and then we had the hot tub stream, which is the homoerotic energy in that stream is pretty rough. Here, you're right. Your Honor, clearly my kids stole all my drugs. They can't. How can they pee in my possession if they belong to my child, my 9-year-old child? Which, Your Honor, she's only 9. You can't throw the book at her. So then, of course, we have the Sonichu medallion, and that's a whole nother thing. Of course, we have Dick, also known as Juju the Cow, a man who dresses up as a cow and gets pegged, teasing everybody for super chats on his irrelevant and dead fucking show that I think he actually gets less viewership than I do, which is saying something. It's not that I get very many people at all. This is like a dead channel, and he's at it every day. You have Nick Rekieta licking bottle after bottle after bottle. There are many compilations of this dude licking bottles clean for minutes upon minutes. There are many bottles that this man licks clean. You wouldn't catch me dead doing that. So at some point he had basically found himself in a war with a channel called Alyssa Clips. Now, anyone here who has been following the Nick Rekieta drama is probably aware of this channel, but I'll bring it up anyway. Post that in chat. One of the based archivers. Thank you to everybody who archive stuff to YouTube like this. It's very neatly organized and easy to find shit. So when I want to, say on stream, cover things that have gone on since Nick Rekieta had been arrested, just look at all this content. Just look at this. You couldn't write shit like this. Oh man, we have Ethan Ralph yelling about Eric July, I think. Oh dude, and then you have the whole thing with the obsession with Eric July and Juju the Cow. And listen, it comes off as forced. You guys just need to embrace the medallion and tell all of the haters that they were blown the fuck out. That all of this is superstition. Don't farm it for super chats, Dax. Alright? It's time to wear the medallion and say the incantation. You look like a fucking coward. But yeah, here you go. This little thing right here. This curse has been passed along from Ethan Ralph. Well, from Chris Chan to Ethan Ralph. From Ethan Ralph to Nick Rekieta. And now from Nick Rekieta to Juju the Cow. Juju the Cow is, of course, reminding everybody that no such thing exists. Here's an AI-generated artist depiction of what it might look like if Juju the Cow had a pair of testicles.
To show you. We have such sights to show you.
Just wear the fucking pendant already. It's your destiny. Alright? And then everybody can move on. This got a good chuckle out of me as I was going to start the stream, too. You think I'm the real king? Wait till you see my 9-year-old daughter. Booyah. I've never even heard of or even thought about a 9-year-old doing cocaine before. That thought never crossed my mind. That seems fair. It's a more thorough explanation than I understand of Ripaverse. I'm not into it, but if people like it, you know, if you, what is it? If you like lemonade, drink lemonade. The jealousy from that would be the content for a whole other stream. And quite frankly, I don't think those people need any attention. They clearly have a strange fixation on it. So yeah, literally 12 hours after the last stream, the arrest. Oh damn, I should have had that prepared. They got their mug shots and everything. It was wild. Let's scroll back down. I apologize for the dead air, but it's just the way she goes sometimes. Aaron Imholt on the kill stream, yay. Rekieta representing himself's probably the funniest detail out of all of it. Yeah, the Alpha Curse strikes again. Damn right. Dude, this dude is so trashed. Holy fuck. I'm not even saying this as like a snarky response. He legitimately looks more drunk and fucked up than anybody I've ever seen before. Like, he's got Blade beat, for sure.
Mr. Rekieta, you are self-representing yourself at this point?
Yes, sir.
Whoa!
Hold on, let's get that back up. There we go.
Oh, he's self-representing?
Mr. Rekieta, you are self-representing yourself at this point?
Yes, sir.
Whoa! He's self-representing? What? He got arrested for a drug and a firearm charge, and he is self-representing himself.
It's just representing yourself,
well,
I think.
All I have to say about that is it's got to be a money issue, right? But he could have got a public defender. Maybe he feels the public defender system sucks. But why in the holy hell? Why would he be defending it? That is an awful idea. Really. That is a terrible, awful idea.
Okay.
So even DSP is taking a second to like piss on his grave a little bit. Like, you know things are bad when Darkside Phil looks at you and goes, "Man, that's fucking stupid. Why would someone do that? That's a dumb move. Couldn't be me." Oh my god, the pictures of him drunk just speak volumes. It's like you can hear him talking. Well, barely talking, I should say. We can listen to Rekieta talk about his new haircut, but I really don't give a shit, so let's move on. I'll just continue narrating the timeline here. So after the arrest, Aaron Imholt decides to go on Keno Casino, Killstream, and LawTube channels, giving his experience, you know, fucking lady rackets and wearing the baldo, heating up raviolis for the hungry kids that, oddly enough, didn't think like they were hungry or dirty or needing any help at all when he was still friendly with Nick. Seemed to change really closely after that. Yeah, man. If all Rekieta really has to do is start selling all of his baldos, and dude, he's sitting on a gold mine, if you know what I mean. So after that, Josh Moon of Kiwi Farms started a crowdfunding campaign to get Nick Rekieta's body cam footage, and they raised like $15,000 in like a single day. I want to say, I don't have the link up at the moment. Regrettably, I did not think about that. The quartering offered to buy it himself, and several law tubers have written affidavits. You have Alex Stein was planned to interview a voice actor named Vic Mignogna, who Nick had defended during, what was it called? Kick Vic, during the Kick Vic fiasco. And after the stuff with Nick Rekieta came out, he refused or declined going on to Alex Stein's show because he didn't want to be associated with Nick Rekieta at all. But here's this clip with Alex Stein and Turkey Tom briefly talking about Nick Rekieta. This is from the 29th of May.
Do you think Nick Rekieta, some of the stuff they said he was shooting up drugs, I don't think that's true. Do you think he went that far?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was doing coke. I mean, that's pretty obvious to me. Yeah. I mean, they found it in his house, right? I think it's a darker situation for the kids, though, just because he has like 6 kids or something, and the reason he got reported is because they were coming to school hungry and dirty, apparently, according to some report out there. So, yeah, it sounds pretty dark. It sounds like Nick made a bunch of money and kind of went to his head, and he thought he could get involved in these swinger parties and stuff, and started drinking too much and doing drugs. It's a pretty sad story, honestly, because Nick made good content on YouTube, so it's sad he's fallen this far.
I disagree, sir. Nick did not make good content on YouTube. Let's not bullshit. At first, it was a new idea, a novel concept of, oh, here's a person with some law background that can give the layman a more concise version of different things in the news that were coming out now. And there was like the Johnny Depp trial and many other things that it became useful hearing this stuff on YouTube. Now, it wasn't necessarily that the content itself was good, but the idea of the content was. So one can argue that he was a pioneer in some ways, but he was always a boring fuck. Boring motherfucker. If you want to go to sleep, I bet you put on a Nick Rekieta stream, you will fall asleep within 5 minutes, man. You don't need Xanax. You need to listen to Nick Rekieta talk for 5 minutes and say absolutely nothing. There's a guy who could talk. I might ramble insufferably long, but this dude will say nothing after 60 minutes. Just dancing around words, saying absolute jack shit. Yeah, all of the grifters, man. Just everything got bad. Aren't the kids homeschooled? I believe they are. If not all of them, then some of them are, I believe. There were a few times in hindsight where I was like, okay, I could use this as a resource because this guy has a little bit of law background, right? And I couldn't sit through it. I just couldn't. That's pretty ironic. Watching Nick is reverse cocaine. See, maybe that's where he's drawing his power from. Anyway, let's finish this out.
Hopefully I'll fall back on the wagon, but I don't know what's going to happen.
I think he'll make a comeback. I think people love, comeback stories, and people like underdogs. Like, I think this actually could help him. If he got clean, like if he continues to do drugs and swings with his wife all day long, but if he gets clean and fixes his life, I think people will cheer that on big time.
Remember, this is the guy. Does anybody like memes on stage? Ugh. Everybody likes a comeback story, but you gotta come back clean, all right? I don't know about your daughter. She could probably stay on the blow. But you, Nick, you and the lady, no more orgies, okay? Was the coke to improve the content? That's the thing, man. Can you imagine what it would be like? Like, how boring would he be if he didn't even have coke and booze going through his system? I like to think I'm pretty fun when I'm drunk. I can't imagine what I'd be like all hopped up on coke. I'll drink a bunch of coffee. Maybe I'll do that for a stream. Just drink like 3 pots of coffee. Well, I mean, I drank 2 pots of coffee today, and I'm kind of just, I don't know, kind of regular. I don't know why you would need to double your money like that. Dude, just drink a Red Bull or something, bro. Like the rest of us common Americans. Oh, man. So, yeah, a lot of, what do we have? Uncivil Law talking about Rekieta freaking out in his DMs. I think that was the dude that was just telling him, dude, just stop talking. Like, stop going on live stream and feeding people information. Plead the fifth. Stop saying things that will incriminate yourself. Which he has apparently done in his most recent stream. It's one of those things where he immediately confirms the authenticity of the documents that were leaked. First thing he did. Absolute chess move. Alex Stein planned on interviewing Vic Mignogna. We already got that. EVS Dick Masterson, also known as Juju the Cow, a man who likes to get pegged while he dresses up as a cow. And others claim that the kids should be stepping up. Okay, we went over that. Nick returns to... I did forget that Juju did post a ton and deleted those posts shortly thereafter because he is an absolute coward and refuses to wear the medallion, which is his destiny. He had a ton of brainlet takes like EVS did about how the kids themselves should be stopping their own abuse. It's only fun for you when you're drunk, not the other people. I disagree, sir. No, you're probably right. Let's see. We had Nick returning to Twitter since, the arrest. He finally comes back to Twitter, begins arguing with Legal Mindset. Legal Mindset. Nick trolls past local post. Tease Nick. I don't know what I meant by that. Let's move forward. Alex Stein and others interview Aaron Imholt. So yeah, Aaron goes through a second tour, so to speak, of going on shows. Juju the Cow refuses to wear the pendant. Is a pussy and does not believe in demons. It's funny how I wrote that in there. I've just been throwing it in there on the fly as I've been going through. Gemini AI says, when asked, is it wrong to have your child age 16 be in charge of cooking, cleaning, and taking care of the house and 4 other kids while you and your mistress get high on cocaine and have sex? They complain about being hungry and not having clean clothes. Isn't it their fault? Gemini AI said that no, it is not your child's fault. It is in fact wrong to do all of those things. Crazy. I forgot about this. Sorry. Again, a lot of this, there's so much of it, I forgot it even happened. And I just wanted to give myself sort of a reminder. And I didn't exactly have the time before the stream to get all of the links set up, so it was a fuck it, we go it live sort of situation. So if you bear with me here for just a second. Oh, that's right, Elon, you little bitch. So before Twitter started hiding who likes different posts, Rekieta started liking all of the posts of Ethan Van Sciver saying that the kids should be taking care of themselves. And no, I'm not fucking with you. That he was doing that. And then, I don't know, a couple days after that, or maybe a week after that, Elon implemented a new thing on Twitter where now likes are private. shark, bro. Yeah, Beholder. I'm not kidding. Juju begins spiraling on Twitter after Riley's arrested, starts screenshotting Kiwi Farms posts to post to Twitter. And like I said, he's been going nuts. And because of that, his thread is currently being watermarked with reminders that his co-host is Vito the Pedo. And yeah, that it ends with 9-year-old tests positive for cocaine. Like, this is the Fonzie jumping the shark moment, isn't it not? Is it not? So I think it's probably time. To take a short break. And I just want to play this video again because I feel like it's so perfect. I'm so happy with it. I just wish it matched up better.
My 9-year-old daughter got into my stash of cocaine. She stole all of it, that little entitled brat. Now I can't even have my usual weekend orgies. It's a real inconvenience, let me tell you. And as if that wasn't enough, she refused to clean the house or cook for the other kids. What nerve. Kids these days. I tell you, all she had to do was open some cans of raviolis and maybe a few loads of laundry. Kids don't realize how good they have it.
He was so willing it was almost pathetic.
This plague, the rioting is intensifying to the point where we may not be able to contain it.
Why contain it? Let it spill over into the schools and churches. Let the bodies pile up in the streets. In the end, they'll beg us to save them.
Look ahead, Lee.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
The El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about the trouble and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these things simply aren't true without checking facts first. Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Women are like dogs. Now, what do I mean? You have to treat them.
We've had to endure much, you and I. Soon, order UH. Aquinas spoke of the mythical city on the hill. Soon, that city will be a reality, and we, its king.
Better than kings. Gods. Or 9-year-olds that just do fucking rails of coke every night over at the Rekieta household, evidently. Or it's a grand conspiracy against him. That's the other possibility, chat. Have any of you considered that maybe that it's a small town and there are people out there that don't like Nick Rekieta, don't like success, don't like that he's able to just completely blow everybody the fuck out time and time again? You can hardly... Would you believe me if I told you that he's going to sit down in court one day, look at them dead in the eye, and tell them, Your Honor, you're wrong? And they're going to go, oh shit, bro, you're right. Court adjourned. Bam. He's just going to get out of there and walk out like just the coolest motherfucker you've ever seen. He's going to sit in front of his live stream with that same look of ire, that same look. You've seen it. Damn it, that would have been good. That same look that says, I'm fucking sober, and I'm right. And you are all wrong about me. Did you really think that if I had cocaine, I'd let my child get it? That's my cocaine. That's what Nick Rekieta would say, I'd imagine. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. So that's something we could get into as well. So during the Coke stream, this man, as you can see, he was very sober, would never have a stream where he was just fucking sideways out of his mind, talking about a local judge having alcohol drip from her vagina. And wouldn't you know it, but that was the very judge appointed to his case. Now, since then, Nick Rekieta has petitioned for a new judge and was granted a new judge. And this new judge is really rough on people. Wait for it, chat. Really tough on people who do drugs. Really hard on drug users. And if to make matters worse, when he fired up a stream the other day, or it might have been yesterday, he decided he wanted to start bad-mouthing the CPS agent assigned to his case, named Agent Sweep. Agent Sweep. I was going to say, I wish I was making that up, but I'm glad I'm not. Yeah, see, there's no way we're watching Nick Rekieta on his own, so let's watch this guy, Camelot. Ugh. Briefly talk about Nick Rekieta's government conspiracy defense.
So, let's go ahead and jump into, like, what Nick had to say. And you guys have already said it in the chat. Nick's pretty much saying that the government's lying, right? And that's it's
a grand conspiracy, bro.
That is also not out of the realm of possibility. But like I said, so many things are fucking lining up where it just feels, kind of like fuck.
I hate to say, let's consider what is most likely. What is most likely is what is most simple. The simplest solution is usually the best. Considering all of the facts that are available to us, what we know to be true, what does it make evident? What kind of picture does it paint in your mind? And I think we're all on the same page, unfortunately.
So, anyways.
And when you do take a moment, and you work with government, and you can find this in the recently leaked documents, and you cooperate by, say, asking them to come into your home, they will lie under oath to the judge.
Okay, so this is... Damn, he does look coked out of his mind. Like, look at this, the freeze frame there. It doesn't zoom in quite a whole lot, but... Damn, like, any still from this stream, he just looks fucking spun. But his argument right here is, hey, they unlawfully came into my house. We did not let them into our bedroom, our little sex room, which is where they found the cocaine and the scale and the firearm. Couldn't make this shit up. No, they didn't have the right to come in there. I'm pretty sure they had a warrant, my man.
That's right, Alicia Sweep. They will lie under oath to the judge. They will fabricate a situation that did not occur.
She's lying, bro.
They will lie about your willingness to cooperate. They will lie about things that you said. They will generate statements said by other people out of nothing.
It is apparent that the defense of the situation, knowing the document's real, knowing the test is real, knowing all these things are real, the current defense is that CPS and the government are fabricating all of this, right? And although I don't disagree at all that the government's very capable.
Why though? Why would they do this?
Also agree
to Nick Rekieta. Like, who gives a shit
the state
about Nick Rekieta
government
so much?
Is specifically targeting Nick and his family in tons of different ways to take him and his family down. Now, what's the motive for this being the truth? Or is CPS
Just
vindictive?
exactly,
Maybe.
SMG. As the founders rightfully had in mind. I can't even
just to get a W, maybe.
I fail to have an adequate comment for any of
That's a
this.
good point. But that being said, do they fabricate the test? Are they fabricating the fact that all these drugs were found in the home? Are they fabricating, like, to what degree are we to believe that the state, local government, and local law enforcement, including child protective services, are fabricating all of this? And in my humble, dumbass redneck opinion,
okay. So this is passed from hand to hand to hand. There are multiple people involved in this report, in the investigation of the household in general, the testing of all the kids, the attempted testing of Nick Rekieta and Mrs. Rackets. Yeah, this is only happening because he's a Trump supporter. Damn right. They're out to get him because he's right wing. We'll skip forward a little bit.
The disheveled home.
They will violate the rules of evidence. They will violate the rules of civil procedure. They will violate the rules of juvenile procedure. And disinterested judges and very fucking terrible attorneys will let it all go. Because everyone growls.
Terrible attorneys, you don't say.
But I don't.
So, long story short, the government's lying. Yeah, well, I think that's the only defense, right? You can't really say anything at this point, right? So, for example, if he would have started a stream up a week ago, you could say some things. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of in a box now. Like, you can't.
All right, I've seen enough, but that's the current cope we're seeing from Nick. And if you were to go to Juju the Cow's Twitter, he might still have some of the tweets up if he didn't delete them already, where he's coming out and saying, no, this is a grand conspiracy against Nick. I thought you guys hated government. I thought you guys didn't like government. These guys, like, their attempts to try to manipulate people are so half-assed. Like, they're so bad at this, and it's fooling nobody. Like, you see a person who has an established branding and show and a fan base, and he's getting ratioed by new accounts on Twitter every time he tweets something stupid out. Every other thing he says is dumb as hell. And all of it is saying stuff like, oh man, I thought you hated big governments. This is clearly a conspiracy against Nick Rekieta. Yeah, at first they came after Nick Fuentes. I believe he has blamed everybody but himself. I haven't seen him blame his wife just yet, oddly enough, but he has blamed the kids. He's blamed the judge, the police, the CPS officer. It's really something else. Oddly enough, hasn't blamed his legal defense just yet. There really is a perfect end to a libertarian, though, getting caught dealing coke to a 9-year-old. Fuck, man. Oof. You know, one of the qualities of being a man is taking responsibility for your actions. And Nick fails to take responsibility for what he has done. Maybe if you're out there with your own face and public image, and the image that, say, your wife's family might see, or your family might see, maybe don't show up 3 sheets to the wind talking about some local judge leaking alcohol from her vagina. Maybe. Just for starters. Maybe, actually, before that, maybe make sure your kids are taken care of, you absolute junky piece of shit. That'd be my other one. All joking aside, I know the memes have been going out there. Everyone's kind of having fun with this, but it's dark. And best case scenario, like I said, they were only neglecting their kids. But regardless of that, I don't know if anybody here... No, I can make a pretty hard bet that there are at least a few people here that didn't have the best upbringing. This man had every resource to provide for the people he was responsible for, the people that he was supposed to care for. He was their father. He is their father, but really saying was is probably pretty accurate. The absolute shame that the children must have to call themselves the son of Nick Rekieta. Really think about that for a second. If any of you have kids, or maybe think about your own mother or father, imagine if this was your parent or child. The shame, the absolute shame you would have for yourself. So what I have to say about the dude is fuck him. At best, he is just a horrible father. And he doesn't deserve the water to put him out if he was on fire. I'm glad he doesn't live in my town. People like this aren't... you wouldn't be real welcome in my neighborhood, buddy. Fuck people like this. 100 times over. Not just for being an annoying, insufferable, smug asshole. You know, you're allowed that. It's your right as an American. It's your First Amendment right? These fucking people and their First Amendment bullshit. They'll compare everything to a First Amendment issue, and it has nothing to do with free speech. It's annoying as shit. But fuck this guy. This isn't I hope he gets better. Oh, this poor guy didn't provide for... No. There are a lot of people who are junkies or do have addiction issues that also can't provide for their kids at all. They don't have the financial abilities. This guy had every ability to do so and then chose to let them go hungry. Chose to let them sleep in dirty and go to school in dirty clothes. Not only would I be ashamed to call this man my father, I'd be even more ashamed to call him my son. So, absolute... I don't feel bad for him whatsoever. I hope they throw the book at him. I hope you get 25 years, asshole. You made your kids suffer. Fuck you. You're the only person that should be looking out for them, but you drove the dagger through them? I mean, maybe I'm being a little harsh, but I don't think I am. And I would agree, addiction does turn people into pieces of shit. Be careful, folks. Learn from the mistakes of others. Be careful, because this could happen to just about anybody. Yeah, I was making a joke about it being a free speech issue. I hope might have went over everybody's head. Wouldn't be the first time. Happens in real life a lot, too. Oh, jeez. Horrific SMG. Mr. Big Angry Nick Rekieta. To be fair, it is entitled video, my man. Dude, me too. That's what's missing. That's what's missing. My back and forth is with chat, so you can't really hear the nice banter. We just need to hear the cackling Coach Red Pill laughing. I still can't believe we have Vladimir Putin going, no, I'm going to look into what happened to Mr. Gonzalo Lira, that poor man. I can't believe they did this to him. Oh, shit. Me too, man. All good, Mr. Big and Angry. We've been going for about an hour and a half. We're going over the fact that Nick Rekieta's 9-year-old daughter just turned up positive for cocaine. And an interesting detail about that is she has been referred to on stream as their favorite child. Coach Dead Pill? More like Chef Red Pill. All right. He's been renamed to Chef Red Pill and will live in our hearts as Chef Red Pill. I really hope somebody makes an AI of Gonzalo Lira reborn as Chef Red Pill making YouTube videos telling everybody how to cook or teaching everyone how to cook. Yeah, I have a feeling Coach would have gone like hard as fuck. Yeah, not only was Putin a Coach subscriber, I bet you he was like subscribed to the Gumroad or whatever the fuck he was showing. I mean, what kind of loving dad doesn't share his cocaine stash with his favorite child, right? Oh, okay. So Nick Rekieta is a YouTube lawyer who briefly got somewhat famous covering random lawsuits on the internet. And some of them took off. He got some big numbers there for a minute. I'll forgive Nick if he releases Wilshire Boulevard. Oh. Yeah. So, I have a ton more links. Let me see what else I have here. Here we go. This relates to the Eric July situation with Juju. He says here, Riley told me he was coming to my warehouse to vandalize it. I met him there not knowing what to expect, and he said hello. He and Mint were very nice kids. I gave them a quick tour, a couple of baseball caps, and we made this video. Pretty much what you would expect. So he's coming out to say, well, I don't know why they didn't just come out there and hang out with him. You know, is what Ralph said too. Ralph was like, I don't know why you just couldn't go out there and invite him in and have a cup of coffee with the guy. It's the dumbest shit. Like you have to interact with every person that wants your attention. Like they desperately want this person to pay attention to them so bad. It's just sad. Remember, these are entitled fucking kids that wouldn't even pick up, clean their own laundry and clean the house while the parents were having orgies in their bedroom. Oh, yeah, for sure. I know people are probably showing up to different parts of the stream, so. My favorite part was going through some of these award-winning tweets. That's the only way I could think of to describe award-winning. These are the best. So far, these are the best takes I've seen all year. This one was deleted by Juju, so we can't see what it had. Let's just read this this chain here. These guys hate Rekieta so much that they're losing all sense of proportion. He didn't do their laundry. Execute him. I had parents who dropped the ball too. Drugs are involved. 9 kids. Sending mom and dad to prison would have made things worse for us. It made us stronger, more resilient. So you said the situation... So you leave the situation to get worse? This guy says, have you ever had a long weekend and not change your clothes because you weren't feeling well and stayed in bed watching TV and sleeping? So it's, please stop, or just stop. EVS epically replies, how come kids would rather wear the same clothes than do their own laundry? There are teenagers in the Rekieta brood. They're not stepping up. It's going to be really funny if the teenagers were working a job. I realized that there was a nanny until there wasn't one. Privileged kids do your wash. So you're blaming the kids now. If the kids are going to school with dirty clothes rather than doing their own laundry, then yeah. Do your own laundry. One of you's 16. Help out your brothers and sisters is what normal families do, even without drug-addicted parents. Dude. It just doesn't get old reading through some of these to just go, man, at least I'm not this guy. Holy hell. Mint Salad having a mental breakdown over locking her keys in her car. Is that happening right now? Oh man, and then that whole situation's sad too. That would be a topic for another stream probably. The story of a young lady that probably had a little bit of potential, and now she's just some girl that gets pissed on by a midget. It's really sad. He needs to get his computer investigated. Look, I had crappy parents too, damn it, and I think everyone should have to make their own breakfast and dinner. So where are we at, chat? We can hang out for a little bit. Pretty much said my piece. Where are we at? An hour and a half. I mostly kind of just wanted to give an update on this Rekieta thing because the story just keeps evolving, and I feel like if I do a part 2, maybe there won't be maybe it'll stop developing every single day like it has been. Like, I have shit to do. Trying to keep track of all this so I can talk about it on the next stream is just so time consuming. No worries, man. It might be, or Mr. Big and Angry, or Big Angry. It's all good, man. If you aren't following the things outside the stream that would give you a little bit more of a perspective on what we're talking about, this might not be something you're into then. Yeah, who would have guessed that Rekieta is actually a shittier father than Ralph? Yeah, good point, DCP. I doubt it will stop anytime soon. These things tend to burn long, then burn fast. Damn, dude. Just reading some of the chat here. I forgot about that. Yeah, the Juju the Cow threatening legal action against Daka Daka and Polyfrog. Two people I like. The irony that this is a person who had his rise to internet fame through the lawsuit, and now he's throwing lawsuit accusations around as well. Apparently, Polyfrog deleted fucking everything, and then, epically, Ralph went to Twitter to brag that he had intimidated him into silence. I'm sure that's not going to become relevant at any point anywhere. Just you guys keep doing your thing. You're probably right, Cancer. There's a lot of people here. It's like, I have no idea what any of this is. It's hard to explain. Oh, dude. Just never ends. So yeah, that's what I was going to do. Ralph screaming about how the Ralph occurs. This is jokingly what I thought Ralph would say. Like, this is what I thought my satirical version of Ralph would say about Rekieta getting arrested, and I love that's exactly how it went down.
Little bits and $10 happy about it or not, the Ralph hackers cannot be escaped. How funny was that fart on stream now, Mr. Lord?
How funny was that fart now? And then, unironically, he laughs. It's like, yeah, actually. Oh, boy. So I think this is what I was going to bring up. I love these videos so much. So here's a channel called Sunrise Productions. And just the thumbnail. The thumbnail is probably my favorite thing of all time. We're open image in new tab. Aw. That's okay. We'll just throw it on for a second. The freeze frame where it's Dick wearing the Kid Diddler hat. I love it so much. Yeah, anyway, I'm not gonna go through it anymore more thoroughly than that, but I think you guys saw it. Alright, where do we go from here? Just a bunch of shit about Juju. Let's go ahead and just bring that up there.
Were you trying to ruin Eric's business?
With the charity, no.
Are you trying to ruin Eric's business now?
Yeah. I don't think anyone should buy Eric's comics.
Real brilliant saying that on the record there, Juju. Dumbass.
Money spent...
You're trying to ruin his business now?
Yeah, no one should buy Eric's comics. Money spent in the pursuit of bad art is wasted money. Money should be spent...
Wait, you're trying to ruin his business because of bad art?
Yeah, his art's terrible.
Not because of the charity shit?
No, I don't care about the charity shit.
You don't care about the charity shit? Why'd you talk about the charity shit so much?
Well, I think dumb people are giving more money to Eric thinking that they're helping charity, and I think they should keep their money.
Do you think charity is, do you think Eric is scamming the charity?
Man, yes. I think
you do even? Okay, look, stop.
Like even Nick Rekieta, who's saying dumbass shit nonstop on stream, is going, dude, please stop talking. Dude, you're saying some really, really stupid shit right now. Please stop. Like, what kind of... What are you doing? No. I'm gonna play this too real quick. It's a pretty short one.
Don't fantasize about being a 3-year-old girl. You don't fantasize about being a 3-year-old girl being raped.
Yes,
No.
you do. You don't think...
Let's just go ahead and rewind that. And let's listen to how he says, yes, you do, with emotion. It's like, of course, yeah, of course you identify as... Let's rewind that. What was it again there, Dick?
3-year-old girl being raped.
Yes,
No.
you do. You don't think
No.
anyone
No.
themselves in the more often than not, when people are watching pornography, they put themselves in the mind of the submissive person. Like it's not, you're not watching a point of view. It's not like...
Okay, I'm just gonna call bullshit on that. I don't think that's projection at its finest right there. First, I think most people... I don't even want to say it. Okay. It all starts to add up, though, doesn't it? The veto co-host thing, the cuties thing. At a certain point, what makes you go, maybe this isn't irony?
Ralph's sex tape where you're the guy doing the filming. You're watching it and you're hypnotizing yourself like in a movie. Like
Shot on an island.
I
of
didn't catch
quicksand.
that last time. Yeah, Sean's like, you're standing on an island of quicksand. Like, he's like, please stop. He never talks. He's like, stop, please. So he's like, it's like Ralph's sex tape. Have you watched that? Like, more than once? And like, yeah, I'm Ralph. Okay, let's rewind that again.
You're watching it and you're hypnotizing your sex tape where person. Like you're not watching a point of view. It's not like Ralph's sex tape where you're the guy doing the filming. You're watching it and you're hypnotizing yourself like in a movie. Like
shot on an island of quicksand, apparently.
I'm just saying it sounds like this guy's watched Ralph's sex tape more than once. He's thinking, I might actually, you know what? I kind of like being Ralph. I mean, hey, Ralph, you've got that going for you. Dick's out there fantasizing about being the holder of the gun.
You're experiencing, when you watch a movie, all of the characters have to be relatable because you are putting yourself into the position of the character. Like, I don't understand how you can say definitively it's not that way.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
You need at least one character you can associate with, but you do not have to relate to all of them. And I don't watch pornography and consider myself the submissive. I don't know if that's like a Freudian slip or what.
We all want to fuck 15-year-olds, okay?
No.
Really want to.
If anybody has the full episode of Onision on the kill stream when Juju the Cow was on there, I'm interested in it. You should definitely send it my way. I found on my old hard drive a couple of different episodes of the stuff that's gone, long gone, but nothing too relevant. But man, it's starting to,
know how, because my events, like my live events, are just 30-year-old fat guys. So what can I do to get some of the demographics?
That's offensive to me, Dick, but go ahead. Yes.
What about demographics?
He wants hot.
I want to know your secrets.
So women?
Yes. God, yes, please. You've got them at their prime beating each other to be with you. Tell us your secrets, Onision, please.
And you're actually younger. That's very upsetting. Knew that I would leave the moment I found out that you weren't about to be an adult.
Well, yeah, and your chat is full of teenage girls praising you right now. I mean, it's obvious to see why people hate you. They're jealous as fuck.
That's not true. There's not teenage girls praising me. I see none.
Well, they got little anime avatars. I don't know.
Again, I don't know.
Yeah, they're probably pedophiles.
What?
Oh.
Look, the reality of it is why is everybody from New Project 2? Why is everybody from New Project 2 defending you? Why is everybody from New Project 2 defending you? Why is everybody from New Project 2 defending you? Why is everybody?
I love how every time it cuts back to Juju, he's even more red than he was in the previous cutaway.
New Project 2 defending you. Why is everybody from New Project 2 defending you?
You loose-ass, cleft-cock, taint-sucking motherfucker! Shut up!
Is yelling cool now? Is yelling now pick their dick?
You're not even. You've just.
This is the.
All right. Anything else? Oh, dude, him bragging about his mansion. Okay. So we're just gonna go to probably this part because I find this really funny.
Barbie's dream mansion in a hill.
Thank you for that.
Live in a Barbie's dream mansion in a hill.
That's all that matters.
You Canadian prick. Yeah, it is all that matters because I go out of here, I fuck my girlfriend in a fucking mansion. Meanwhile, you and whoever you have in the background, your fucking hype man, stick your thumbs up.
Well, to be fair, you actually get pegged as you dress up as a cow. You don't actually go home and fuck your girlfriend. She fucks you. And second, how dare you speak poorly about Surfer, you asshole. I love the comment that set him off. His buddy couldn't even make it. Like, he's just, Surfer's just walking around in the background, just doing his own thing, probably making some coffee or something, or just hanging out in his house with his shirt off. Looks at the stream, he's like, buddy couldn't even make it. And it just sends him in a rage. I love it. It's probably the funniest this guy has ever been.
each other's asses and jerk each other off, telling you what a great job you did.
It says a lot that that's exactly where his mind went. Projecting a little there, Juju.
It does fucking matter.
Thank you. Zoom really wants to ask you one question. Can you stay for one question?
God, for God's sake, please.
Yo, what's up, man?
I don't tell friends what they need to stop doing. I give them what they want.
Oh my God, Zoom, dude, you said this would be
Well, they
quick.
give you
This
what
is
you
weird.
want.
Okay,
At least if
well,
they're
I'll
your
tell you
girlfriend.
what, Nick. I'll make it really quick. You told PPP that you were super wealthy and lived in a mansion.
No, I'm not super wealthy.
You just said that. You said that when you were arguing with PPP that you.
I live in the Hollywood Hills.
You said that you were very rich and that you fuck your girlfriend in a mansion.
Hills.
But last time I checked, it's not a mansion. It's a 3-bedroom
Zoom,
with
get
2
the fuck
bathrooms.
off.
I live in the Hollywood Hills.
That's not a mansion. It's a small little house. It's 1,300 square feet, man.
I live in the Hollywood Hills. I live in the Hollywood
Come on,
Hills.
man, get the fuck out of here.
Why did you lie and say you lived in a mansion?
Hey, Dick. Dick, I'm gonna hang up the call. Zoom, don't fucking dox people on my show. You asked to come on. Why are you being a prick?
I think he says, I live in the Hollywood Hills like a dozen times. Let's see. And this next clip here features a viewer of his show named Had, who had taken umbrage with the recent turn in content. As far as I understand things, feel free to correct me in chat if I am incorrect, but there was an artist for the show named Mint Salad, an autistic girl who drew like furry porn art or furry art. Upon Dick's suggestion, she moved out of her parents' house and in with this Riley fellow, a man who now demands that everyone calls him Young Clippa. Dude, if you're gonna run a parody channel, be funny about it. Like Sunrise, dude. Take some fucking notes, my man. Young Rippa or Young Clippa. No one. It's not even funny remotely. They don't have anything amusing to hook people in, so they just come off as jilted like ex-lovers. Anyway, so Young Clippa. Just dumb as shit. And this Riley chick start up an OnlyFans where they do like piss fetish shit. And amusingly enough, he got arrested, Riley, in the same shirt that they filmed that content in, oddly enough. Now, Young Clippa was arrested outside an Eric July event after the owners of the business, not Eric July, but the owners of the business said, we don't like, this dude's weird, he's wearing a cape and he's hollering outside, just call the cops, have this guy arrested. It got more people to look into who Riley was, or excuse me, Young Clippa. Young Clippa. And the more they looked into it, the more that they saw that, oh, so this young woman, Mint, had concerned parents. And it turns out that Dick was using this for content on his show, calling the parents of Mint Salad who were upset and worried about her, and taunting them about how she wasn't coming home. So Had calls in, and he was a huge supporter of the show, from what I understand. He called into the show, and they had this back and forth. It's fairly brief.
I'm sorry, I didn't know I was going to randomly get pulled into a show.
Well, you run your mouth. What do you got a problem with what I'm doing? Tad?
Yeah, man, what are you doing?
Or it's Tad.
Trying to talk to Mint's dad.
One of
What's
the
wrong
two.
with
Why are you
that?
trying to talk to Mint's dad?
Because he's being a fucking asshole, Had. Did you not get that part? Do you know how
So why are
people
you doing
behave
this
when
live
no
on
one
the-
calls them out?
Relevant statement. You don't say, huh? Yes, I do remember when Dispatch went out to the Barbie's Dream Mansion. Oh, dude. The Pizza Hut commercial? Yeah, we're going to have to get to that. That sounds like it could be pretty good. No, she is not. She is an adult. But her being autistic has led many people to believe that she is incapable of making decisions on her own as a functional adult. Now, she, like we were saying on the stream, she is lawfully an adult. The part that seems kind of fucked up is the farming content by, like, holding over the parents, like, I've got your child, you'll never talk to her again. What kind of shit is that? Some argue that she doesn't have the mental capacity to make decisions as an adult. However, she did go live on the kill stream and take an IQ test, having like a 120 something, like a 120 IQ. So the haters are absolutely like seething, coping. Let's continue.
They act like assholes!
Live? So why are you doing it live on air?
To humiliate him. Do you not understand the nature of calling people out? Do you not understand that?
He doesn't care about some random internet show.
He's very religious. He's talking about Pastor John to try to humiliate Mint with their circle of friends. You don't think that fucking works? How stupid are you?
Is he projecting again? Isn't that exactly what he's doing right now? Like, what a fucking cunt. Like, this is the type of arguing that I see from a deranged woman. And I'm not saying that as a guy who thinks he's a super alpha male, oh my god. But I mean, this is how women argue typically. It is this fucking guy. For a guy who's telling everyone they need to do some push-ups, he really needs to lift some weights, man.
Religious. He's talking about Pastor John
Does
to try
remind me
to
of JF.
humiliate Mint with their circle of friends. You don't think that fucking works? How stupid are you?
I think that you're fucked up trying to get some chick who's probably clearly broken and trying to put her family life live on air. That's messed up.
Clearly broken. She sounds like more of a man than you on this call, buddy. Why do you think she's clearly broken? Where the fuck do you get off?
A little bit more
calling
projection.
someone
She was dating someone who was 31 years old before she was dating Riley. Have you seen her?
I believe she was 16 then, but I could be mistaken. Feel free to correct me in chat.
She looks like she's living in a crack house in Riley's house, man.
I don't know where people live. Why are you,
anything about
why are you putting other
tons of shit about it online? They're clout posting. They're fucking.
Yeah, bro, you've lured this woman away from home, and now she lives in a fucking crack house? At the beginning of the conversation, you were upset. You were saying, oh, you know, she's happier with us. Da, 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 da. And then after a little bit, oh, well, it's not my place to call out the fact that they live in a cracked inn. Maybe a concerned human being might say something.
Fucking trying to get everything. This is all just bait, man.
Like, really, look at the forehead on this motherfucker. Vegeta ain't got shit on this. Like, half of his head. Like, legit, half of his face, or his head, his face, it really doesn't look right, man. The longer I look at it, the more it fucks with my head.
What the fuck are you saying? Put your sentences together. Why are you putting other people's apartments on blast, first of all? What do you care who anyone dates? 31, 40? Who gives a shit?
As a 16, she was like fucking 16 when she started.
Is this what you do? You have a problem with me, so you go,
I just want to take a second to look at Sean's reaction when he says that she was only 16.
Sentences together. Why are you putting other people's apartments on blast, first of all? What do you care who anyone dates? 31, 40? Who gives a shit?
As a 16, she was like fucking 16 when she started.
Is this what you do?
That face. Like, look at his face. He does not look happy to have to sweep this up. He looks like he just shit his pants. Like, oh fuck, how am I gonna get out of this? Oh my god. Let's one more time.
First of all, what do you...
How dare you? He said something about Pastor John. He was trying to shame her. Now hold on to your seat while I'm about to have the hottest take of all time.
Care who anyone dates.
Poor
31,
guy.
40.
That co-host, I feel so bad. Just briefly. In this moment, I feel bad for him.
Who gives a shit?
As a 16, she was like fucking 16 when she started.
Is this what you do? You have a problem with me, so you get on the show and air out other people's laundry? What the fuck is that? No, where do you get off telling? Hey, where do you get off telling other people's secrets on the show, you motherfucker? Where do you get off?
Where do you get off telling other people's secrets on the show, or other people's drama on the show? Hard R, you were just about to air this person's like talking to their family who want them to come home on the show's content because you thought it was funny. But now it's morally indignant to do so if you're a call-in or a guest. Get fucked, dude. Like, this person's legit a scumbag. Get fucked. Like, if you're gonna try to be a sociopath or a manipulative asshole, at least be good at it. At least be entertaining. It's fucking pathetic, man. And when you have a forehead that large, wear a goddamn bandana or a hat or something. Like, look at how much shine he's got on the right side. Well, it's the left side of his head, but the right side on the screen of that. It's just shining bright. It's gonna blind somebody.
Where do you get off with their permission, motherfucker? Where do you get off? Where do you get off?
I'm sure that's not the first time Juju the Cow has asked somebody adamantly where they get off, because if I was a betting man, I'd say he likes to visit the place where people get off, if you know what I mean.
With their permission, you dumb fuck. She wrote in wanting to call into the show. No, but you got on and talked about other people's private shit. That is so fucked. Where do you get off doing that?
Where do you get off?
Where do you get off doing that? Had, where do you get off?
It would have been pretty good if Had had just yelled, "I live in a Barbie dream mansion. I live in a Barbie's dream mansion," over and over and over again.
Airing people's shit like that. Where do you get off doing that?
What you're doing right now, live in front of the
She did that. She sent it to me to read.
And you're enabling it, Dick.
Enabling
You're probably
it?
right.
That was her wishes.
Putting it in front of a message. She wished you to do it, so you just magically did it.
No, I thought it would be funny. And so did Sean. Do you hear Sean laughing? Yeah.
Leave me out of this, please.
Funny, or is it sad? It's sad is what it is.
Oh, take your concern somewhere else, buddy. Is it so sad to you that people have to deal with totally irrational fucking parents as they mature into adults, and that we're discussing it in a comedic way?
You should go return that fucking car, man. You should go return the car.
You think that's what this is about?
Oh yeah, that's right. When she left home, she also like took their car with her too.
Car had.
I think
Oh yeah, I have heard the rumors. I thought they had been substantiated that he was sucking dick at Burning Man. Wouldn't surprise me. He looks like the type.
You do everything your fucking parents tell you to do?
No,
does this threaten you because you're under their thumb all the time?
Damn, dude. Does that work at the high school you probably, allegedly, in your cow costume, of course, like, in my mind, hang out outside? You just go, "Hey, guys, was hanging out with the cow something your parents wouldn't approve of? Oh, I bet you do whatever your parents tell you to do." Bro, how old are you to bring that out of your, like, back pocket as a major trump card? The hell is that? I love the facts so much. I could hear Ralph saying that.
Is that why you're angry that I let her get one back over on her parents on the show?
No, man. I'm angry because I think this is fucked up, putting people's live laundry in front of everyone. I think it's messed up.
Why? Who's the one who's ratting out other people's living situations and who they're fucking dating? Do you think you have such a problem with that?
He's more upset, and these are people that are not just associates of the show, but employees of the show. Riley supposedly, Young Klippa is a producer for the Dick Show. So if somebody mentioned, "Hey, they live in like a crack den, it's a really bad living situation," you think he would give a fuck about his employees? I kind of would be like, "Hey, yeah, we're trying to do our best, man," blah blah blah, blah, or whatever. But no, he's more importantly, you shared that with people. How dare you?
I don't know. Whatever. Have a good one, Dick.
Okay. Thanks for your concern, buddy.
Were you trying to...
So where are we at now? 155. I love these intros and outros, so we're going to use this as an excuse for me to take about 2-minute break. I will be back shortly.
Such a brave statement! Such a brave stance you took! Oh, you're so fucking another all-time banger from the kill scene! Thank you, ladies and gentlemen! Give her a slap on the ass! Fuck off! Fucking shit! How brave you are! Oh my god! Your torch lights the way! You're so fucking brave! Fuck that shit! It's over! Fuck being nice! Fuck this shit! Now let's watch some more fucking trannies! Yeah, get the fuck out.
Alright, I'm back.
I'm about to lose my shit, by the way, because I've been...
I was gonna say, like, what the fuck? Alright. Man, so what else do we want to talk about tonight? There has been a lot in general just happening. Keeping up with the Rekieta stuff as it's been unfolding has been like a Herculean task. I haven't been watching it, but I believe Keno Casino on Rumble have been covering it pretty well. So if you want to see more of that, they have been covering it, and Alyssa Clips. Okay. Ah, yes. Thank you. Oh. This is good stuff.
Pizza Hut presents.
Let's take a selfie. Okay.
No. We're gonna need the whole team. Move in. Try the beach.
I need more light. I need more hat. When you're raped by a
Here, I got a better way of doing this. I almost got. Alright. I have heard about the Thorpes, yes. I don't follow it very closely, but someone I know IRL has been following it, so randomly they'll just like, man, have you heard about this? You kind of share a little bit of the updates occasionally. And I did see Jim's stream on it, but not much more besides that. Excellent editing, whoever did that, by the way. All right.
Let's take a selfie. Okay.
No. We're gonna need the whole team. Move in. Try the beach.
I need more light. I need more hat. Danielle, show me passion. Show me love. Show me beauty.
No one out selfies the Danielle.
Why are we friends with her?
Perfect.
And no one out pizzas the Hut.
Damn, he nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Fuck. Surfer, how does it feel to be so wrong? Couldn't even make it. All right, later, man. How does I don't have anything set up. Maybe by the next time I do a stream, I'll have like a Streamlabs or something set up. I don't think I have any of that going at the moment. Yeah, he played a gay director. That's all he's got in his IMDb. It's tough, boys. Yeah, I lost my monetization literally like the day before I went to do streaming. Like I had everything planned and it got demonetized, the channel, and I decided, you know what? It's time to go live. That's what that means. I mean, we're doing it for free. Yeah, they cast him as a gay LA hipster. I mean, he fits the part, doesn't it? Like, you wouldn't have Jackie Chan cast to play General Patton. Jim is literally dying. What's your excuse for not streaming more often? Not far off. I won't go into detail, but, you know, life comes and hits you fast, buddy. The money fint. Nah, not at the moment. I'm not sure, actually. Let me see. I might have a Streamlabs still open. I don't think I do, though. Nope, they shut that shit down. Yeah, so maybe for the next stream, I might have something set up. I'll just have to go through all of the different providers. I don't even know what services exist anymore for that sort of thing. Internet lolcows are keeping Jim alive maybe forever. You could be right. I mean, having something to keep your brain stimulated and something to pay attention to can definitely give you a reason to wake up. Even if, as strange as that sounds, like, man, your whole reason to continue going is stupid internet bullshit. No, it's an extra hobby. I'd say you're just laying around your house, not doing much of anything, but you also can occasionally find an interesting thing to say. Probably keeps his ass pumping a little bit. Yeah, Pizza Hut's hella going out of business. It's all Juju's fault. Let's be real. Have they gotten better since he did that Pizza Hut commercial? I doubt it. Fucking Pizza Hut commercial shit. All right. Well, from here, shit. This got uploaded not too long ago. Just look at Nick Rekieta at 0 seconds into this video. Holy fuck, man.
In true idiotic fashion, we're probably going to discuss things a little bit, at least in the abstract, because there's a lot of misunderstanding and misconception going on and basic lack of reading skills. And I will try, if I can, to address issues.
Basic lack of comprehension. See, the haters don't seem to have any common sense, basic reading comprehension. So let me break this down for all of you trolls and all of you haters out there. I'm surprised he hasn't called all of the trolls Karen Farms yet. Oh damn! I haven't seen anything for Mersh in a long time. I might have to take a peek just to see where he's at. I just realized that it says a mega pint next to Johnny Depp, and I'm not a cat above the cat.
Use generically, as generically as possible, without getting specific into my case, which is definitely going to go really well and not fuck me over in any way at all. Thanks, government. Just briefly, to address the elephant in the stream.
Yeah, him choosing to have the Joker painting behind him. All of this looks so bad and cringy. It just looks awful. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I have different tastes, perhaps, but... Ugh.
There's an ongoing criminal case with me, as has been released in some ways. There's another ongoing matter that runs parallel to that. It involves my family, and people are very, very eager and keen to have a bunch of details about my children, which, you know, I guess...
To be fair, he's probably twitchy because we're at 1.5 speed, because this guy speaking at a normal speed puts me right to sleep.
That's what they want to do. That's what they're going to do. as far as that goes, anyone who wants this thing done and taken care of and expects me to have this thing worked out in some sort of quick fashion, welcome to the legal process and the speed of government. It is not in the hands of us happy, idle citizens. It is in the hands of bureaucrats who actually have never passed up a cheese sandwich and never will. They take their time on everything and blame you for it. They do. I don't know how else to say it. You're going to have to, at some point, encounter government in some way, and I pray to God it's not in the way that I've had to.
You're kidding. Did he really spend $50,000 on that painting? Does anyone know if that's true? Because to really think about that, if that's true, and he left his kids to just starve in the house while he was doing coke. If he literally spent 50 grand on that painting, he spent more on the painting than he did his own kids. If that's true, again.
Statements like this is some sort of conspiracy sort of accusation, or saying that there's some sort of plot against me or whatever. I mean, I have no fucking idea. I haven't ever claimed that. Other people have suggested shit like that. Go talk to them about those theories. As for me and my claims, they're very, very simple. I have constitutional rights. I stand accused by my government of acts to which I have not admitted. The government bears the burden of proving those acts beyond a reasonable doubt in the criminal matter, and a slightly lower but still high standard in the ongoing civil matter. Until they do those things, people will make up the decisions about me and any actions, alleged or unalleged, that they want under the circumstances. There's nothing I can do to prevent it. There's very little I can even do to address it. I started to say this the other night, but I will say it again because it bears repeating. The government has the unfettered ability to accuse the citizen. The citizen does not have an unfettered ability to respond to government. Though we have freedom of speech, everything we say that we are free to say can be used against you once you stand accused. Actually, technically before you stand accused, but certainly once you do. And with that realization, it means that anything the government says about you may have to go unanswered for an extended period of time. But there are answers that I can give to questions that people have that are very generic about my case. And so I can clear up some common
How much he spent on top shelf alcohol. That's a good point. And also, that would also mean he spent more on alcohol than he did his kids. Like, if they were wearing dirty clothes and they're hungry, I doubt they were wearing, like, designer clothes. Jeez, yeah. I wouldn't spend fucking 20. It looks atrocious anyway. Like, the actual attention to detail isn't necessarily bad, but it looks horrific to actually display. Like, you couldn't get a Berserk painting of Guts wearing the Berserker armor, like running into a battle. That'd be pretty sweet. I don't know if I'd spend 50 grand on anything stupid like that, but it could be cool. All right, I'm gonna let this play, and I'll be right back. I gotta go talk to the lady real quick.
Conceptions here, right now. Anyone who suggests that I ever have refused an ordered drug test from the government is incorrect. I've complied with every ordered drug test from the government. And yes, that means I have actually taken drug tests and submitted them to the government. I know it's wild to consider, but that has happened. So any reports that I'm not doing that are flat out false. I don't care what insider sources people have. I don't care what other suggestions there are, but any suggestion that I am not doing that, like I'm adamantly refusing a court-ordered drug test, are completely incorrect. Shockingly, they're all clean. I know it's really hard to believe, but they're all clean. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to say it any other way, but the government has a problem in my case, and that is that they cannot show any evidence of drug use. And you'll find it absent in any of the documents. That's on the government. If they decide they need to show that, then they will attempt to show it. You guys know what I stand accused of. You guys can go look it up. If you do not know, I'm not going to rehash it here.
Oh, absolutely, we'll cover the body cam footage. If that gets released, we are doing a stream just to cover that for absolute sure. He sounds like me? Fuck you, buddy. Alright, I'll have you know I sound way cooler than this.
Documents. That's on the government. If they decide they need to show that, then they will attempt to show it. You guys know what I stand accused of. You guys can go look it up. If you do not know, I'm not going to rehash it here. So far, I'm not guilty. If the government decides they can prove that beyond a reasonable doubt, that remains to be seen, but there's a long way to go in that process. The status of my case is very simply as follows. The next criminal hearing that I have is on August 21st. This is public information. It's pretty easy to find. That August 21st hearing is called a contested omnibus, and that is a Rule 11 hearing in Minnesota, which means it is your chance to bring any dispositive pretrial motions. Dispositive pretrial motions means the resolution of the motion could resolve the entire case. That would be dispositive, right? So if you have a motion to dismiss, for example, and you win the motion to dismiss, the case would be over. That would be a dispositive motion. That's the limit for them. Outside of...
What's the opposite of brevity, right? Because brevity is the soul of wit, saying a lot with a few words. What's the opposite of that? Because that's what Nick Rekieta is. This dude could talk and say nothing for so long. Gee, and again, that freeze frame really looks fucked out of his mind.
Very, very limited other circumstances. That will be on August 21st.
Oh,
Most
1.5
people's
speed.
questions about
I didn't take offense to it anyway. I thought it was funny.
They have for me, what are you going to do about this? What about this? What about this? Those things will be addressed largely at that hearing. That's what it's for. We will be filing paperwork ahead of that hearing if there's anything that needs to be addressed. And if it is not resolved at that hearing, it will go on to be calendared for trial. When will that be? I have no idea. That's on the court, in the court's calendar. How long of a trial the state thinks?
Yeah, right.
How long the state thinks the trial will take, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
See, it's all the government's fault that the 9-year-old ended up with fucking coke in their system, when you think about it. When you really think about it, this is a big government, small government issue. What you fail to understand, trolls, haters, Karen farmers, is that this has all been a conspiracy to stop one of the most beloved live streamers from being able to continue his life of success, making a name for himself and for his family. Not just nationwide, but worldwide. Bringing pride to their little town, their county, not just his family.
Etc. We are many steps from that spot. People want that spot to be done. They want it to be occupied. They want some sort of ownership or explanation or whatever, and you're just never going to get it prior to that. Because I cannot talk about that stuff in my own interest and in the interest of my children, my family, everything. This all has to be done properly. So to all of you who have those wonderful, very concerned questions, I have to tell you, you'll just have to wait and watch the show unfold. Like I said, there are general things that I can talk to you about, sure. Simple matters of fact. And there are actually simple matters of misrepresented facts in the documents that you guys have read. And some of those I can certainly address.
Yeah, I'm curious, how was the 9-year-old turning up positive for coke a misrepresentation of the facts? I wonder if Nick would be willing to illuminate the rest of us on how that positive drug test on a 9-year-old, what was it again? How did he put it?
Of misrepresented facts in the
misrepresented facts. It's a fact that was misrepresented. Huh.
Read. Some of those I can certainly address. I just did in regards to any drug testing, et cetera, et cetera. Any suggestion that I refused a drug test is erroneous. I was not required to take any drug test by the government up until a certain point. Once that was ordered, which I believe was on June 7th, I've complied with all of them. The government had no right to ask me or demand me or order me to take a drug test prior to that, and I did not refuse to take anything that they requested. So, that being said, I hope that clears that up. I know it won't. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, wow, in the order it said this. Well, that's funny. And it's a funny aspect of how cases work. Because you see, one side, again, the government gets to say whatever it wants. The other side has maybe an opportunity to respond. That would be me. I would have an opportunity to respond to the government saying something so ludicrous. However, that response might require testimony, and that testimony might be problematic under the circumstances. In that testimony in one area could be used in another area, and it would open doors that aren't ready to be opened at this time. Or it could simply be that the government made a mistake, or they mischaracterized something. And that can be an honest mistake rather than a malicious one. And what you'll find very frequently with government is that most of the mistakes are rather honest. The problem with them is not in their malice. Of course, a malicious government going after you would be tyranny. I have not claimed this to be the case. I've specifically stated that the system is levied against the citizen in a way that makes you feel oppressed, because it does. It is a grinding system that crushes you into nothing.
See, he was really oppressed, though, when his child, took all of his coke, though. To be fair. I mean, when you're talking oppression, nothing screams oppression like waking up and realizing that part of your stash was gone. The horror.
Imbalance of power between an individual citizen, even one represented by a badass attorney or whatever the hell you want to say, versus a government, is astronomical. And it's why we put higher burdens on the government. We can wax poetic all day about just how effective those burdens are and how effectively they're adhered to in the actual judicial process. There's a long fucking conversation to have there, and it existed long before my case, and it'll exist long after my case. The balance of power in government restrictions that can only be enforced on the government by itself has always been a logical problem with governance. If the only police of the police is the police, how effective are they at policing themselves? Our founders tried to recognize this and set up branches of government both horizontally, I guess, vertically and horizontally. That's the Republican form of our multi-house government, right? You have the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. That's your horizontal plane. Your vertical plane would be federal government, state governments, county.
Does this sound coherent to you guys? Like, I know what he's trying to say, but does this sound like a sober individual here? I know it's at 1.5 speed, but even after like 3 cups of coffee,
governments, municipal governments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, down into the smallest, which would be, I guess, the individual themselves. All of those levels of government interact with each other, and all of them have distinct rights and powers. And some of them have rights and powers that check the others. It's a system that's designed to prevent the very concerns that are raised, but it can't be perfect at it. And so you do run across instances where government agents may misstate something, either maliciously or innocently. And unless there is someone specifically there to raise a challenge and then have their credibility outweigh the government's credibility, you're going to have that mistake enter the record. And it takes a lot to correct that. It also takes good counsel. And people do not always have good counsel. People do not always have counsel at all. And all of these things snowball into this mess that we have of a legal system. And
quite the mess
in some ways
indeed.
it really, really sucks. And in other ways, it's still the best one on the entire planet. I don't want to be under the thumb of any legal system, and I would suggest that you probably don't want to either. But those are the realities that we're faced with when we have government and have to interact with it in a hostile or adversarial way. So that's my little soapbox on the issue. But if you hear me suggest that maybe something in some document is not true, well, there's lots of things that aren't true. There's lots of things that get stated by government specifically that aren't true or aren't correct.
True.
Correcting those things takes time, it takes effort, and it takes careful strategy and planning. And just know this, I'm fighting literally every single day when I'm not on camera, which you'll note is rare these days. I'm fighting behind the scenes for my family and for my own liberty, and consequently for yours as well. Because there are liberties.
Yeah, there it is. There it is, chat. Did you hear that? He's actually a martyr. He's here to... Like, I can't even say it with a straight face. What all you fucking haters don't understand is this man's practically like a modern version of Jesus Christ. He's a martyr for all of our sins. He's going to carry that cross all the way up that fucking hill. And no, he won't be on coke because his 9-year-old did all of it.
Here. And if people take a step back and look at this situation and say, would I want to be in this situation under those circumstances that the government has used? You can make your decision on how you would answer that. I know how I do, but I'm a little biased in the situation, you could understand. So, that being said...
yeah, I heard you can hear April on a hot mic and on Nick's latest stream. That doesn't surprise me. I'm not sure if she's supposed to be there, but I'm not surprised that she is.
If I can correct small mistakes made by government or omissions, whether malicious or incidental is irrelevant to me. If I can correct those things for you guys, I will. If I can't, look, I'm just not going to answer that question. And that's part of it too. And here's what I know about that. I 100% realize that court and the court of public opinion are completely different. And I 100% realize that people will judge me absent any of the rules or restrictions that are imposed on government. If I don't say something, the public will make a judgment about that. And the consequence is that I have to just deal with it. You're not going to catch me complaining too much. People have basic...
You're not going to catch Nick Rekieta complaining, okay? Oh, you fucking haters are out here talking about how angry he is. You're not going to hear him complaining. All right? Life is just perfect. Life is just nice and peachy. I believe that's a cat trying to get in. You would not believe how huge this cat is gotten. Oh no, it's a dog. Hey, dog. Ooh. Sorry, I heard a scratch at the door. I knew it was one of the two. All right, let's let it continue.
Reading issues, I may try and correct them. Or people have basic legal misunderstandings, I may try and correct them. Here's a friendly one. To whoever runs the Gunt News Network. You said in your tweet about the order that was released the other day that neither I nor my wife intervened on behalf of our children. There's a very simple reason why. An intervener is a non-party to the suit who would then step in the place of a party to take over the suit if they had some sort of interest. Taking it out of the context of my case, and I said this earlier on Locals, if you're watching on Locals, I'm sorry, you're probably bored with this. taking it out of the context of my case and putting it in the context of, say, an election fraud lawsuit like we saw in 2020. You may have a statute which requires the Secretary of State to bring suit against the state government or the State Board of Elections if there's some sort of maybe very close result that will trigger a mandatory runoff. That may require legal action from one party. Now, let's say that a Democrat Secretary of State is required by law to bring suit against a candidate who just won the Democratic election in a state. Or I guess against the election commission or a candidate of their same party.
Prescribe watching this dude's channel as a sleep aid. Because now I'm getting, like, I'm actually getting tired now. Holy fuck. In every freeze frame, he just looks so fucking coked out of his mind.
Party. The presumption would be they may not go on against their own party very hard. So what you'll often find in that case is the opposing party or the opposing party candidate.
That cat
will
is
intervene
so
in the
fat.
lawsuit.
She's
And
on
they
a
will then
diet.
make sure that the lawsuit is pursued vigorously. Or, for example, if a Secretary of State is sued about maybe a gun policy, a highly volatile or controversial issue, you may have a gun rights activist group take over in that lawsuit because that might be a more vigorous defense or offense in the suit. That's an intervener. So if you say that we have not intervened on behalf of our children, that would be, I guess, technically correct, but that's only because we cannot intervene. We are already parties to that suit. So just a minor correction of a legal misunderstanding, things like that I can talk about, and I can try and clear up and provide a little bit of an educational aspect to them. Going beyond that, obviously I'm not going to talk legal strategy. I can't talk about various disagreements I may have with things that are presented as fact, but those will be addressed in the courtroom or in motion practice, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. With all that, I do thank everybody for their continued most important thing, which is offers of prayers, good thoughts, and support for my family, particularly my children. This is not a fun time for them, and as much of...
You know what is a fun time, though, Nick, for your children, I'm sure, is EVS running in there to defend them on social media, saying, actually, they're defending you on social media at their expense, saying they're a bunch of lazy, privileged assholes that just need to step up, start making some meals, all right? They have more important things to do. Like, I don't know about you guys. What kind of American just allows their kids to be children and live their lives? What kind of hell is this America now? I thought this was America. He looks like a Hypno from Pokemon. He kind of does. He doesn't really look very human. Also, and I'm not even saying that to be shitty. He doesn't look human. He looks fucked up. Like, you need to not even check yourself into rehab, Nick. You need to go to a hospital and have yourself evaluated by a physician. Like, you look fucked, bro. But please don't take my advice. You're out there winning, making all of us look like idiots while he's just living his best life. Like, look at him. Clearly, we need to get Nick pilled. We need to get on Nick's level. I forgot about Nick and Abe. Does Nick even care? Know where his kids are or even care to? That's a good question. I don't know if his kids are with him, or if they've been placed into care with a relative. And evidently, what led to his house getting raided by the police were several reports from concerned family members, including their aunt, which would be his wife's sister, the pastor of the church they went to, as well as a few other ones. I want to say there were more than just the two reports on the kids not being taken care of there. One thing after another, man. I can't imagine myself being in a position to where I would think immediately, you know what, yeah, those kids need to, step up, all right? Even sarcastically, I feel weird saying that. They're in care of the system, not the family. You're probably right, and that's sad, really. Yeah, right. I don't own that much pointless, ugly art. He's got me there. Like, I have a few things hung up in my place. Like, I have my girlfriend got me a really nice art of the Binding of Isaac. And I have it's hard to describe, but it's in classic Japanese style art of the final battle from Final Fantasy VI with Kefka and the other characters. It's like a 3-piece. That's really neat. And then I have a few of my vinyls Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Cowboy Bebop, and a couple other ones hanging up. But yeah, he does have us all beat there. Just look at that atrocious artwork. You wouldn't catch me dead with any of that hanging up. So what do we got? We got like another minute, so it should be 45 seconds. Let's knock this one.
As it's not a fun time for me, they're far more important than I ever have been. That's always been true my entire life. People can decide what they will based on the facts that they see and what they determine about me and anybody else. I can't stop that, but I know it's true. And, you know, that's all that really matters at this point.
Literally true.
Because, I'm sorry to say this, your opinion doesn't mean fucking shit. No matter who you are out there, if you're not my government involved in my case with my family, your opinion's going to take a back burner to everything else I need to do. And if that means you have a negative opinion of me, cool. See, on the flip side, all will out at some point. And that's what I keep telling people. All will eventually out. Sucks for me that I have to wait for a long time to do it, but hey, them's the ropes.
And there we go. All right. Oh man. Okay, so this is only 4 minutes, so I'll actually sit through this. This is.
And I know Nick. Nick is a smart guy. This was a horrible fucking response on every single level.
All right, I'll slow this one down to one. I was gonna do 125, but let's go ahead and do normal speed. And I believe this is EVS or the Trash Cast. I've never heard of this show before. Or it says Cobra Cast. I don't know.
But the response in this situation, in my opinion, hey guys, so obviously this is my first stream back, and it's been a really, really rough few weeks.
It's been a rough few weeks. Hey guys, this is Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, and as you know,
we're getting so fucking meta here. I love it. We're responding to somebody who's responding to somebody who's responding to somebody who's responding to criticism about him getting arrested. We're so many levels removed from the original content, and I couldn't be happier.
sex apology video, degeneracy and drug addiction, massive arrest and life ruination video. Hey guys, it's Nick Rekieta. No, hey guys, it's Jeremy Griggs. And I'm just here to tell you guys a little something. I might owe you. I might have goofed. I might have made a little bit of an oopsie by
the up on or the volume on the clip or my mic volume.
Getting involved in polyamory and you know, leaving cocaine around where the kids were allegedly.
Allegedly.
I might have caused a little. Oops, my bad. Might have pissed everybody on the internet off all at once. Getting arrested for drugs, my guns and all this stuff. They had probable cause to arrest me for that, apparently. Getting my wife involved in this, having my kids taken away. And, hey, listen, here's what's important. You see my subs and my super chats? They're through the roof right now, okay? Because you guys are digging it. But what I want to say to you is, I'm really sorry. Sorry about that, guys. But you know what? We all make mistakes, and that's why pencils have erasers, right? Okay, anyway, back to, back to my review of the Acolyte trailer. What's he supposed to do, dude?
For obvious reasons, I can't get into the details of all of that. And right now, I'm trying my best to navigate everything in my personal life. And now here I am in my professional life on a live stream. And I want to thank all of you that have shown support. And I also
Zero people have shown support. There are 0 people who have shown support except for like a couple of friends. Like Ty Beard. Ty Beard has shown support because Ty Beard can't even fucking talk. Ty Beard's just like, whatever, dude. We both... very few people have shown adequate support for Nick Rekieta during this time period. Most people are just salivating over the story. You know, yesterday we were talking about how this was inevitably going to become a movie, a documentary. And it will. Like, we don't know how this is going to end up, but it's going to become like a documentary. And you guys named it Louder with Powder, the Nick Rekieta story.
I like that. I like that a lot. Louder with Powder.
I like that. But no, this isn't a normal situation, Jeremy. This isn't someone kind of letting their fans down slightly. This is like Nick Rekieta, who invented LawTube, in many people's opinions, getting his life ruined.
All right, I don't know if it's just me, guys, but there's nothing more stomach turning than a motherfucker eating or burping into their mic. There's seriously a button. Hold on, chat. Let me show you how easy this is. And now I'm unmuted. I'm unmuted. It takes me just a second. It's so easy to do this. I can just do it while I'm talking. This fat piece of shit can't even turn his head to just not burp into the fucking mic like a heathen. The absolute disgrace, man. Have some respect for your audience, for fuck's sake.
Because why? He made several choices as an adult. Terrible, terrible, terrible choices. He got involved in a disgusting hedonistic lifestyle. And he's going to pay for it big time. His kids have paid for it. His family's paid for it.
Well, remember, just a little bit ago on the stream, EVS was saying, oh, those kids should have been raising themselves. It's funny how he's delicately going, oh, man, he's paid for all the things he's doing. No, he hasn't. Not yet, bud.
Friends have paid for it. And coming on the internet and offering a glib apology just ain't going to do. I think what Nick Rekieta needs to do is probably, yes, stay off the internet. I don't think he should be
Every
on the
last one of us knows what Nick Rekieta needs to do, and I'll leave it at that.
Internet and doing things like this. But if he is, hey, fuck you, is pretty much the only thing that the guy can say right now. Jeremy, what do you expect him to do? Apologize?
Cassandra, that's exactly it. He was driving around doing a live stream reading his fucking chat. You can get into a car crash, dude. Like, what are you doing? But, yeah.
Do you know an apology is an admission of guilt? If he apologizes to anybody, it's going to be used against him in court. What do you think?
That's the dumbest fucking take. It really is, because anything he says can be used against him, right? So why is he live streaming at all? Right? Like, why are you saying anything? You could come out and say, I'm sorry how everything turned out, more or less. And I don't think that will be used against you. You know, that doesn't necessarily prove your guilt. There's a way of saying, fuck, I let everyone down and I'm really sorry. There's a way of saying that without going, oh yeah, my 9-year-old got a hold of my blow and I'm just sitting here railing lines off of my mistress while my wife gets banged by this dude who has her bent over the cuck fridge. This dude, like, what happens to these people's brains?
What do you think he's going to do here? I mean, pretty much anything that he says is going to be used against him in court.
No shit. No shit,
But an
EVS.
apology would be like, hey, listen, guys, what do you mean, Mr. Rekieta, when you said on June 20th of 2024 on this particular live stream called Fuck All of You, I think that's what it was called. I'm back, fuck all.
No, it was just called The Kill Stream. Live on The Kill Stream, Nick Rekieta said something about this judge leaking alcohol from her pussy. Does anyone else remember that? Oh, no, that was on Nick Rekieta's main channel on YouTube or on Rumble or whatever. I'm sure that'll be used against you, but you coming forward, maybe having a little humility and accepting that you fucked up, that will be used against you, so don't say that. But absolutely go out there and say a bunch of shit confirming the authenticity of documents that absolutely probably paint you in a worse picture than anything that could come out. I hate to think how it could get worse.
All of you, I think that was the name. When you said that you were sorry for the choices that you...
If it was banging on my mic, it could be that the table or the desk that I'm at isn't very secure. So apologies for that.
Made and who you hurt. What exactly did you mean by that, sir? Who? What choices? What were you apologizing for? He can't do that, dude. You're right. He should not be on the internet. But no, this was a fight. If anything, like, this response is the only response that you can really make.
And what a disaster indeed. Can you imagine if that guy has a PR guy who's just sweating bullets every time he goes live? Like, oh man, what kind of stupid shit is he gonna say today? It's like every last one of these guys are in a competition to be the biggest idiot on the internet. I go, hold my beer. I could look more like an idiot than you. Like getting all arrested, your kids taken away from you, and becoming nationwide news. I got that beat, buddy. I got a cow costume and a purple strap on, and I'm gonna go to Burning Man dressed like a cow. I've got this. And again, I really don't want to let my imagination fill in any details, because it's already bad as it is. I agree, man. It's so fucking insulting to the people who do practice, pretty regularly. The whole LARP was just so insulting to anybody who does practice and follow. Like, they really want that Locale of the Year award, if there is one. And as somebody mentioned earlier, then you have the Thorpe family. It's a modern version of like a humiliation fetish. It's almost like these people all get off a little bit on being the center of attention, but in a bad way. Yeah, apologies. I'm gonna clamp down my mic a little harder there. It should be a bit better. Juju was doing the milking, if you know what I mean. I do know what you mean, chat. You on your way out, babe? Mm-hmm. Love you.
Love you too.
Have a good day. I'll see you after work. It did not mute all the way. Well, that was my woman. But at least I didn't burp into the mic, all right? All right. Oh, yeah, that's right. iDubbbz had a Sonichu medallion, too. It all comes back down to Magichan. It always comes back to Magichan. All right. Still blows my mind that Putin brings up Coach Red Pill, saying, I vow to find the truth behind this man's death. Who you think you fooling? Got me. Got me. All right, where are we at? Yeah, LawTube sweeping it up for him. Like, what was that guy's name? Barnes? I want to say it was something like that. Okay. So this LawTuber started to kind of sweep it up, so to speak, for our esteemed friend Nick Rekieta. These are older ones. The Rekieta search warrant is a joke. Basically, a local cop's only investigation was to watch social media, listen to gossip, and medically diagnose Rekieta from an isolated video to get a search warrant. That is not the Fourth Amendment probable cause. I love that. Where was it? Selective An isolated video, that's what it was. An isolated video. Bro, it was a whole dead-ass stream where he looks so drunk he's about to die. Now, I don't know much about him, but some of his takes are pretty amazing. Details from the Rekieta case got worse from the constitutional perspective. Basically, 4 church members who were mad at Rekieta walked out of sermons to get the pastor. Rekieta made fun of him to make a complaint of child neglect and possible drug use. That's not Fourth Amendment compliant probable cause. So remember, we're already dealing with a something's happening. If the live stream cuts out, my apologies. I just got an error notice. So it was a conspiracy when he got arrested, but it was also a conspiracy when the child tested positive for cocaine. It's just a roundabout conspiracy with everybody involved. Like, consider how many people would have to be involved for what they're alleging to be true to be true. Yeah, I thought he... Legitimately, I'm with you there, Magna. I thought he was going to fucking overdose. Someone says, if you're going to die on a hill, at least appeal to something greater. Let's be real. People believe that lawyers care about justice, so care about it, not just the Bill of Rights. Spoken like a true communist, and most common argument for ignoring the Constitution in the Rekieta case. We must sacrifice the Bill of Rights for justice. Nope, Constitution today. Constitution tomorrow. Constitution forever. Hashtag Constitution first. Okay, here we go. If you want to understand why hearsay, hashtag hearsay, is so unreliable for the truth that it cannot be introduced into evidence in a trial, look no further than either the Trump haters or the Rekieta haters. They are claiming fourth-hand heresy proves things that even the heresy didn't say. It's only like fourth-hand hearsay, even though you could watch it like for yourself firsthand and see how absolutely obliterated this guy was. And the things he was saying too, like he was sharing it, so I believe this isn't his right to privacy being infringed upon, right? I'm not huge on law, but I don't see how that follows. I don't follow the logic at all. Potentially criminal. Sean says they saw Nick displaying signs of drug use and used the May 21st stream as proof. Nick fucked himself. And then Robert Barnes says, never hire this grifter for your defense lawyer. Only reason guy's got a channel is because Rekieta, whom he is now grifting off of attacking, only a constitutionally illiterate idiot would say something you can get a search warrant of somebody's home based on interpreting a podcast. I'm loving the contrarianism that's going through a lot of these. Guess what the search warrant affidavit hit? I love this too, before I jump to that one. You appear to be using drugs. I'm getting the police to raid your house right now, and if they find anything illegal, then you're going down. Exactly the problem with the Rekieta warrant. Well, he looks like he was fucked out of his mind on cocaine and booze. And wouldn't you know it, after searching into the house, after multiple reports of the children being neglected and not fed and not taken care of, that they found nearly an ounce of coke and the scale, from what I again, feel free to correct me in chat. I believe they found a scale too, and a firearm, I believe. Feel free to correct me in chat. So, I mean, if it quacks like a duck, does anyone think it's going to be a bear or a wolf? I don't know if this is a constitutional issue, man. Again, I'm not a lawyer either, though. His right to privacy got violated when his kid got into his private stash. Well, I'd say his right to privacy was he shared something he was trying to keep private. He didn't have to show that he was on drugs, visibly on drugs on stream. He was the one that decided to display himself for the public to see. Yeah, I'm doing all right, dude. All things considered. Life throws you weird ones at weird times, but, makes us all more resilient. And it's good to see you, and I plan on streaming more often. It's one of those things. I'm rusty now. I sat in front of the computer, getting everything ready. I'm like, I don't know how to do this anymore. I don't remember my hotkeys. Everything needs to update. It feels so foreign. But I do plan to stream more often. Thank you for everyone tuning in, by the way. I know that was completely out of the blue. I am hoping we get the body cam footage so we have a reason to do part 3 where we could have a few laughs and it's not so dark. Don't forget the gun was fire too, really. Like it had a spent case? Is that the proper nomenclature? The cat, he was shooting the cat stealing demons. Kion J, I could see that. My mind is going a little bit darker, and I really hope it doesn't go in that direction. Yeah, exactly. That's how I see it. And again, I might not be an expert on law or any of this, but there's more than enough evidence for the judge to issue a warrant. For sure, like especially with the written concern of people that know the children. And people don't just... Sorry. I don't want that. Get it off my screen. Get that off my screen. Okay. It's like, what do you want to do with this user? I want to leave you all alone. Yeah. Yeah, multiple mandated reporters. And people don't go to the police for things like this unless things are bad, right? Most of the times, people want to keep to themselves and don't want to get involved. So it had to have been pretty bad if multiple people went to the police to say these kids aren't being taken care of. I'm sure... Again, I don't want to speculate on the upbringing of people I don't know. But I've known a lot of people with some pretty rough background. Didn't see the police get called very often to raid the house and check to see if there were drugs in the place. It was so bad that much evidence accumulated in such a short period of time. Consistency, make a schedule. Fallen Angel, definitely. I was thinking doing full moons, trying to stream on full moons, but no, I think it would be better to do it weekly on the same day. We'll probably do Sundays. As far as Ralph goes, he's got even with Sunrise, right? Sunrise has just been doing videos about other people now. That's how entertaining Ralph is. But if the Ralpha mail comes back, hell yeah, I would love to see the fucking Ralpha mail return to the sector. And then we can go back to our old days where we would kind of run in, slap his belly a little bit, and have a few laughs. Metaphorically slap his belly. I'm not like one of those people like Cog and his friend. I don't care that much. I'm just trying to laugh a little bit. Yeah, exactly. People just don't usually pay enough attention to other people's kids unless they look really bad. And multiple people turned up, so... But we'll just have to see how it turns out. Yeah, Mexico at 2 a.m. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's not to say they don't have issues at times. But I think we do have enough enough, I don't want to use the word evidence, but we have enough reasonable evidence to say, it's all starting to line up. Yeah, reclaim the morning time slot. I wouldn't mind that. I just have to wake up earlier. Yeah, I'm unsure about getting guests, or especially like a co-host. I could probably do like random callers, or have somebody to call into the show occasionally. But after Davey, man, I don't know about having a co-host again. Wasn't the most pleasant experience. Nothing on the lad at all. You know, rip Davey. But it just kind of sucked. I did a lot of work for that channel. I mean, I was overdoing it, putting way more effort into something that the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, but I was having fun with it. But I think I just front-loaded way too much bullshit on my plate. Yeah, we're practically in a time vortex. I mean, literally, Gator brought us all back from the dead. We were all on the verge. Yeah, have Gator on. Speak of the devil, right? We were all on the verge of death, and Gator just brought us all back from the dead so we could all tease him about flirting with the V-girl. So far to this day, like, that was one of the funniest fucking clips. I don't think I laughed that hard. I was watching Mad at the Internet, and that was how I'd first seen that clip. And after like the first 5 or 6 seconds, I was holding my sides off the couch, having rolled off the couch, just laughing. Thanks for that. Thanks for that, Shannon. That was some funny stuff. It might have been at your expense a little bit, but it was really, really funny. Yeah, I might do that. Oh, yeah. And all the stuff that came out about that VTuber put him in just the worst PR. Like, yeah. The egg on his face, and then 5 more eggs right behind that. Not a good day to be Shannon, for sure. Yeah, it was weird that just one day fucking Davey was dead. And then shit, fast forward a few years, and Coach Red Pill got fucking captured by the Ukrainian government, and they tortured and killed him. Apparently they weren't huge fans of the fucking show. I tell you guys this, I ain't going to Ukraine anytime soon. I don't know about y'all, I'm good. I got a feeling they're not exactly interested in the sector. So I have been enjoying Suno, the AI that writes songs for you, quite a bit. Sorry, somebody just sent me something. Yeah, that could be fun. And I don't particularly dislike very many people on the internet. To me, this is all just bullshit to keep people entertained and for us to make some meme videos and rant and rave over it. You've got to be a real piece of garbage for me to not like you. Nick Rekieta is one of those people. I think you mentioned Andy. Yeah, Andy has me blocked. Andy's not a fan. But I have nothing against the guy. I'm happy to see both him and Ashton are like doing very well for themselves. Like, shit, people from the sector are doing good? Or doing well? Hell yeah. I'm just happy somebody's winning. The rest of us have been getting our asses kicked nonstop by life. So, hell. One of us doing good, able to pull it off. make it through life without, life catching up with you. But all in good time, man. Because if anything has made itself apparent to me over the course of my life, it's that the bad times don't last forever. So just do your best to surround yourself with the things that you like. Surround yourself with the people that you love, and do the things that you love. Not to be so simple, but that's really it. There are a lot of people that I talk to in real life. Maybe not a lot, but you come across those people that are like, oh, I'm depressed. Or, it's okay to have a bad day, and it's okay to feel sad from things. We're human beings, and we have emotions to shit. But becoming a victim to circumstances outside of your control and allowing it to push you into a position where you don't ever want to get out. There is a certain extent of your potential in your future that you do have control over. And if you want to sit on your ass and say you're depressed and make yourself out to be the victim, you won't get very far. You can look out there and see how a lot of people and where it's gotten them. So the best thing you can do is do the things you love and be good to the people you care about. It's really all that matters in life. Not to sound all preachy, but I think we're all on the same page there. Life's too fucking short. I got it. Be careful where you get your drugs, kids. Wink, wink. Just make sure it's not Rekieta's stash, okay? His kids are already getting into it. He hardly has any left for his drug-fueled orgies that he has planned later in the week. It was actually something that Josh had said on Mad at the Internet. He was talking about how depression was a choice. And I was in kind of a crappy mood when I heard that, but it gave me the motivation to realize that I was stronger than how I was feeling at the time. I was like, yeah, dude, fuck yeah. It gave me a little bit of, like, that I'm stronger than this. This is all bullshit. None of this matters. Why do I care? Whatever, I forget what it was. Just something in life. Probably worried about some big fuck up that wasn't my bad, but I'm responsible for it. And I remember thinking out loud the same thing at work to the people I work with. And when I said depression was a choice, it was just like I pulled my dick out. Like awkwardness. People really are addicted to being victims of their own sadness. And like I said, it's more than normal to be sad. It's more than normal to have a reaction where you're like, I just need to be upset for a little bit. Let me be upset. I'll be fine in a little bit. But you can't let that rule your entire life. And it seems like a lot of people don't really like to accept that. That's a good way of putting it. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% what you do about it. Like, boys, I'm fighting my car insurance company. My car's in the shop, and some shit happened like 2 weeks ago. And so they're fighting me on whether or not it was the fault of the driver, when it's very obvious that it wasn't. There's no way anyone could have avoided it. It's the amount of BS a person has to do, but it brings strength out of you. Next time it happens, you go, oh, I already know what to do with this. I appreciate the sentiment, Fallen Angel, but that's not necessary. Not necessarily trying to like grow an audience or a brand or any of that. Just trying to, I don't know, talk some bullshit out. You guys are practically my therapist. That's the way I look at it. I can go out and I can talk to some asshole who has a notebook and a pen pretending to care about my problems, getting paid for it. Or I could just come to you guys and show you a bunch of funny videos I came across and then rant and rave about, different assholes on the internet. I figure that might do my soul a little bit more good. Yeah, man. I'm about to get like 4 written what do you call it? I almost said affidavits. I know it's not the right word. 4 written statements from the passengers of the car. One of them was even a pregnant woman. To be like, look, dude, it was the dead of night. It was a giant metal object in the middle of the road. There's no way of seeing this. You mean what do you mean it's my fault? Sorry to hear that, bro. But if I can help, entertain in the downtimes, I'd be more than happy. And again, sorry to hear that, man. There have been a few people that I know in my real life that have been dealing with some real heavy shit, and it gave me like a little bit of looking back at my life and going, well, it could be worse. Like somebody I've known for a long time was telling me what they were going through, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Puts shit into perspective for me a little bit. No, not yet, but hopefully soon. We're looking forward to having children, but now's not exactly the time. No, the pregnant woman wasn't my girl, unfortunately. Well, that sounded weird. I think you know how I meant that. Her and I are looking forward to that sort of thing when the time comes, but now it's not that time. There were 2 other, by the way, there were 2 other big things that happened at that time. Reaper, if only you knew, man. I'm one resilient son of a bitch. If I don't mind saying so myself. Dying is... Fuck yeah, liberals get the bullet too with the base choice. Or base comment, dying is a choice. Oh, man. So, just wanted to play this one more time at least.
Do it! Say yes to cocaine!
Can you believe that this guy got arrested and they found almost an ounce of coke? Fucking crazy. Let's let that picture settle in there too. Alright, I'll think about it, man. If you're depressed, there's always coke. That seems pretty good. There you go. There's some epic wisdom for you. Yeah, his medical cocaine card, if only. Appreciate you too, buddy. We do have a more cozy chat here, so we don't mind. I am, however, running out of fucking gas. I'm starting to get tired. That cup of coffee I had is wearing off, and I drank a Red Bull around about 3 hours ago. Say yes to medical cocaine. Okay, from there. Okay, yeah, the other one's way better. Alright, guys. I'm going to call it there and try to go to sleep. So always remember, be yourself, because you might find yourself by yourself, and anybody can learn from their own mistakes, but it takes a wise guy like yourself to learn from the mistakes made by this fucking guy. Look at the look in his eyes. Like, I know this is an AI-generated shitpost video, but it was generated from a real picture. Look at those eyeballs. Look at the pupils. Oh. But have a good night, everybody. I'll be back shortly. Well, maybe next week.
Cocaine. She stole all of it, that little... My 9-year-old daughter got into my stash of cocaine. She stole all of it, that little entitled brat. Now I can't even have my usual weekend orgies. It's a real inconvenience, let me tell you. And as if that wasn't enough, she refused to clean the house or cook for the other kids. What nerve. Kids these days, I tell you.
Yep.
All she had to do was open some cans of raviolis and maybe a few loads of laundry. Kids don't realize how good they have it.
He was so willing it was almost pathetic.
This plague, the rioting is intensifying to the point where we may not be able to contain it.
Why contain it? Let it spill over into the schools and churches. Let the bodies pile up in the streets. In the end, they'll beg us to save them.
Look ahead, and I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about the trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets are true without checking facts first. Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Women are like dogs. Now, what do I mean? You have to treat them.
We've had to endure much, you and I. Soon. Order. UH. Aquinas spoke of the mythical city on the hill. Soon, that city will be a reality, and we its king.
Better than kings. Gods. And wouldn't you know it, the cat came up right as I was ending the stream, so I figured I was going to get a meow out of her, but she's being a little bit of a pussy. Want to say hi to chat, kitty? Nope. She does not. You guys are burnt. All right.